Hello, everybody out there. It's wonderful to be with you. It would be even better to be with you live in the same room. But in this wonderful world that we've got at the moment, it's amazing what the D&D crew have achieved in getting us all together. So yay, props to them. We are the DiceStormers. I am Ben Looms. I'm the CEO and creative director of Sirenscape. It's Sirenscape's amazing audio, sound, music, explosions, wind, frost that you've been hearing through lots of the games in this celebration. So if you want to find out about that, just search Sirenscape in Google. You can spell it however you like. My gaming group, the DiceStormers, you can search for DiceStormers, grab us on Twitch, just stick a follow on while we're playing if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. And here are my wonderful, wonderful friends. Hello, wonderful, wonderful friends. Yay!
Hello, Ben.
We're going to play a fun game of D&D. Friends is an interesting term, isn't it? We're going to play a wonderful game of Dungeons and Dragons based in the Frostmaiden world, this rich, beautiful, cold, dark, no, it's wonderful. It's great. We're going to feel positive and excited about it, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to ask for some audience interaction. When we stream on our Twitch, we're always getting to people to suggest the results of a critical hit or the results of a one, mainly rolled by Nathan, because that's what he tends to do as his main jam.
Consistency, Benjamin.
I sometimes have trouble thinking of names of NPCs, so maybe if you jump in there every now and then and suggest one of those for me when you see me faltering. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you in the chat, and we're going to be having a look at that. Fantastic. So if we could have an intro to the characters, starting on my right with Derek. Tell us, if you want to, a tiny bit about you, Derek, your favorite food, and what your character is today.
So my character I'm playing today is Vale, and Vale is a warforged wizard, and he really likes rocks. Just any rocks along the ground. He can pick them up and chew them and consume just about anything. But he fell from a sky battle to the earth, and his body was completely damaged, and they carted his body off to a wizard's laboratory, and he just sort of sat there in the corner of the wizard's laboratory, and the wizard didn't know that his consciousness was still active and and he could see and hear everything that was going on. So as the wizard did experiments and taught students, he was able to absorb that knowledge, and the wizard eventually killed himself in an explosion, and his body was reactivated, and he was able to walk and talk again. But his biomechanical body is kind of vastly dilapidated because of it, and he only has a strength of 8. So he's not a huge warforged person.
Fantastic.
Has picked up a bunch of wizard spells.
That's amazing, Derek. He's a broken machine, just like all of us in our hearts. Ooh. Excellent. Next, who is below Derek?
I thought
Johnny.
Our games weren't allowed to be therapy.
No, they're mainly therapy, Murray. This is when they're mainly therapy.
Is that just me?
Johnny.
Awesome. I'm playing Jataya. Jataya is an old character from a campaign that DiceStormers played many, many years ago, Under the Gods. Jataya has an amazing sword that he drags along the ground or strikes against a hard surface to ignite into flame. Right. Jataya grew up as a soldier. He joined the army when he was just a little boy with his older brother, and they fought alongside each other until tragically his brother died in a battle. He has no other family. He has his friends, and all he knows is war.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, it's like he's from
Fantastic.
40K.
Yeah.
Right.
Murray.
Right, I'm playing Euphorion, who is a tiefling warlock. He's blue with flecks of gold. So he doesn't know this, but at some point in the past, one of his ancestors some kind of involvement with the god Lathander. This is the god of birth and renewal. And ever since his descendants have been trying to right that wrong, they don't actually know what the right they have to wrong is, but that's why the flecks of gold are in his bluish tiefling tinge, is that the connection with the Celestial. But the Celestials don't want his pact to be known to him, so in fact the pact is with a Fae, so the god Lathander has sort of contacted a puck-like Fae creature to basically con Euphorion that's the pact, whereas in kind of a bigger picture pact. So he's trying to, he wields a giant turtle shell. He had a a battle with a turtle humanoid tortoise, and managed to actually get him out of his shell. So that is his shield, and he's got basically his it's his emblem is the shield. So he tries to do everything except Eldritch Blast, because of course he's a warlock, and that's all ever anyone expects from a warlock. So he does try and do things that are not what is expected.
Yep. So you're totally original, and hopefully still mechanically effective in that originality.
Absolutely.
Someone who's used to not playing mechanically effective characters is Nathan. Tell us about your character.
Oh, yeah.
Nathan.
Hello, everybody. So my character is Marcus Rutherford, and he is he's interesting. So he is a bard, but instead of music, he's dance is his method of creative communication with the general world. He is a lot of fun to play, and I've played him for many years, and I've upgraded him. So I've put him into D&D 5th, and he now has he has a war ribbon, which is a whip per se, but it's much more flattering and is dramatically much more.
Does it still do 1d4
dance.
minus 1 damage, or?
No, we've improved. We're not even minuses anymore. We're nearly pluses, nearly. But
you're still going to have to roll more than 4 on the dice.
We use the disarm rule, and I've got that, Benjamin. If you need to find it, it's on page 170 something. But we'll get to that later. Obviously, you know these rules. So
I'm using D&D Beyond because they're fantastically easy to search and find the rules that you need at any moment. Yay, D&D Beyond! I love you, John.
All right, I'm playing Zuffer of the Healing Rose, and Zuffer is a half-orc, and he's more of a psychologist than he is a cleric. He believes that healing comes from the mind, and that really getting to know someone is really how you heal someone. And so he picture a wandering priest who wanders the wasteland and heals people's souls. And he's got a bit of a rough kind of way to him. He's a vegetarian. He's a bit Australian, so he's got a bit of the Australian twang. And he's just gonna heal the party in a way that is gonna make them feel better than when they started.
So I don't know whether the viewers can turn on their scrolling, auto translate subtitles.
Oh mate, it'll be Bonza, mate. Yeah, mate.
It's gonna be marvelous.
Bonza. You guys are going to be
great. Good. Yeah.
Just in case any of you hadn't realized before, we are playing from Sydney. So when the internet completely dies, you can blame our government.
No, the undersea cable. Surely we can blame the undersea cable.
Yes. We are in the world of Icewind Dale. We're in the city of Bremen, in a tavern called the River's Mouth. So I'd love all of the DiceStormers in a moment to take off your headphones and enjoy the atmosphere of the River's Mouth for a while I talk just one-on-one quick with the audience. When I want
we're taking our headphones.
When I want you to put your headphones back on, I'm going to give you a signal that looks like this. Okay? But I won't do that. And you're not allowed to come back and listen just for a couple of minutes. So headphones off, boys. The audience and I need to talk.
I'm just saying I'm slightly concerned.
Awesome. Now we've got rid of all those guys. I've just got an admission to make, which is I've made many mistakes as a dungeon master. And sometimes I feel the best thing to do is to admit you're wrong as a dungeon master and move on and grow from the experience. This is not going to be one of those occasions. As far as I'm concerned, the best way to fix my mistakes is to repeat them and show all my gaming group that I was actually right in the first place. Don't you think so? And with your right, we're going to convince my buddies that actually, there were moments of genius in the first place. So when these things that I'm going to mention come up in the game, I need you to be on my team, be on Team Ben, okay? I want you to jump in with comments. They can be over the top if you like, but tell everyone just what amazing dungeon mastering. The DiceStormers should appreciate this great dungeon master, and aren't we lucky for the dungeon master to have made such a wise decision? All those sorts of things. The more over the top, the better it is, I reckon. And the fun thing is that anyone who's missing this explanation right now won't have any idea what's going on and why the audience is so enthusiastic about my terrible dungeon mastering. No, it's going to be great dungeon mastering, but there's a few things I'm going to point out. One is lemons. I did that thing once where you explain the scene, but you kind of just mention one thing in passing and then the players latch onto it. And my occasion on this one was lemons. So I'm going to mention lemons at one stage and see if the players can really incorporate it into their world. I also have a problem with, as I've already mentioned, with NPC names. Thinking up a name quickly on the spot. I've tried name generators. I had an Elven one once that gave me 5-syllable names, and I was using that, but that was terrible. So I tend to call NPCs Andrew, which I'm going to do more because I think that's something that my gaming group needs to embrace. I have a problem with plot hooks being too obvious, so we're going to start with that right at the front. And then the biggest mistake I ever made was with a Remoraz. I had this fantastic scene all laid out. The cave was there, and I literally just had the Remoraz standing out the front of the cave, and then realized at the post hoc that it does all sorts of cool burrowing stuff, and I could have been foreshadowing it, and it was a bit sad. I had also been dungeon mastering for 23 hours already in a 24-hour long stream of games. And finally, confusing plot lines where I've got mirrored images of the characters coming back and they have to play multiple versions of themselves and it's ghost and time travel. And I'm going to stick to that because they are the best sorts of plots where your players have no idea what's going on at all. Does that make sense? So every time I mention those things, I need some comments there from the audience saying what genius dungeon mastering it is. Or you could point out that I was not genius dungeon mastering. Or you can start a flame war in the comments. That would be even better. So we should get into the game. All right. I'm going to see if I can bring my friends back. Headphones.
Right.
Headphones.
So
Okay.
that
Hooray!
I did like the laughing.
I'm seeing.
Really appreciate looking at you laughing whilst talking to the chat.
Sorry.
Chat.
Yeah.
I'm seeing
Never
Team
good when the DM
Ben
laughs.
trending. I'm seeing Team Ben.
Team Ben.
This is
chat.
not
I
a
don't
good
like
thing.
that.
I like it. I like it.
I'm making
Excellent.
it very adversarial. I think the other teams should also be supported in the chat because knowing Ben, it's like Ben was wanting people to be Team Ben, which is like we don't really get a chance.
That's right.
Yeah.
The audience is going to make their own decision, Murray. It's up to them. You know, it's their own feelings.
All right.
They're
Well, I
completely
request
spontaneous.
Team Murray in the chat. I'll see how much love I
right.
can get from randoms in the chat. And
Excellent.
That might hurt
So you're
me.
all in a tavern. You're all in a tavern in Bremen, having a lovely time. You've been adventurers for a while together, and you traveled. You've fought together. You know each other's tactics intimately. You understand how to most optimally cover up for the fact that Nathan can't seem to roll more than a 4. And it's a wonderful bond.
On
and me.
different dice.
Yeah, that's right. any dice. That's right, except the
Yay.
4-sided dice. Have we got Team Murray? Have we got Team
Yeah,
Murray?
got some Team Murray.
No!
Yay.
Don't feed him. Don't feed him.
Into the tavern walks this sort of scrappy-looking man in a dirty tunic with sort of stains down his front and a hair which has been sort of cut on one side, obviously by his wife, but she didn't finish it because he was too squirmy when she was trying to cut it. He's got a beard which is ragged and unkempt. It has various sorts of meals stored in it. Presumably he's planning to eat them later. And he comes in and he says,
Beards are for.
"That's right." You can attest, Team Beard. He says, "Oh, help!
Yeah.
My son has gone missing. He went out exploring in the cold mountains and has not returned in 3 a day. Will somebody help me find him?" he says in his distinctive voice, which I won't forget and turn into another accent. "Bring him back alive, or at least failing that, drag back his sad body from the cold that besets our land. Be there brave adventurers here, perchance?" he says.
I
gonna go
turn
straight
to
over
Marcus.
to him.
Oh,
I go,
John?
"Oh, are you okay, mate? Oh, how are you? You must feel you're feeling terribly sad.
I am
how are you
feeling
coping?"
sad.
I kick over a chair and sort of eat the cup that I was drinking from, and motion for him to sit down.
Yeah, mate, I'll pass him like a napkin to wipe the tears from his eyes and rub his back and.
Oh, thank you.
Wow,
thank you.
we're really nice
Thank you.
people.
It's okay, let
thank
it
you for
out,
caring for me.
mate, let it out.
Do you think you could find my son for me, or his rent corpse? Failing that,
Wow.
Tell us how it all
I say-
started. Don't.
What does he
spare
look
any
like?
details, mate.
he went out but a 3 day ago. He left us. All I have is this journal, which he keeps irregularly. Perhaps there are some helpful notes to be found in this. Here it is. This ruddy journal. See, he has scrawled his favorite image on the front to remind himself and others of it. It is a hook. And he hands you a journal with.
Oh my
I take
goodness.
the journal.
Is that a
I
hook?
open it upside down. I shut it again, and I handed it to Marcus Rutherford.
I get that. So
And tell me,
Upside down.
did you read the journal, mate? Did you read the journal?
I'm finding it hard to read because so many of the pages are stuck closed with this strange sticky substance, but it falls happily open to this entry. And he opens it up to the entry for you and hands it to you.
I read it. My small motes of orange light that are my eyes scan the page and see what's on it.
Are you uploading it to
Save
the
as
cloud?
PDF, right?
That's right. Scanning. Fantastic. It says, "I really want to go east and attack the monster." Where does it have his journal? Where's the journal entry gone? I can't read it. Okay,
I'm
good.
so
It
glad
says-
we had that all ready for the.
It says,
for
that's
playing
right.
on a big stage like this.
If only I found it. If only Charmaine would appreciate my bravery, she would really appreciate me if I would cross the lake, go over the rickety bridge, and enter the cave to defeat the beast. This is where the beast is, and there's a map drawn on the journal showing exactly how to get to the beast.
Is it a
Maybe
really
if
one of
I-
those kind of like old school maps with the dots and the X at the end kind of thing? Like
Yes.
it's just like
With
good.
With intricate hashing to sort of show the shading areas and things like
Is it
that.
drawn,
And
is it
clean down
drawn
the corner.
isometrically? Is it,
Even better. I like that. It's drawn isometrically. Yes.
nice?
It's incredible
I hold
how
up
clear.
the map and I say, a clue, and say we should go east. I tick when I talk, so
you are showing great insight already. You must be the brave adventurers who will go on this quest to save my son, or at least bring back parts of his intestines.
What did you say your name was again?
Oh, my name.
Is it
his name.
Andrew?
Yes, Andrew's a great name for an NPC, isn't it? Yes, his name is Andrew.
Andrew, I'm really
Yes.
proud that you didn't read your son's journal. That shows a lot of trust that you didn't do that, because a trust between a son and a father is as a bond that
Yes.
should never be broken. We will
it's all-
return with your son and possibly his entrails. And
What's left?
And
What's left? Something.
don't you worry. I'll give him back a good rub, but in a professional way. You know, not to
Excellent.
break boundaries
I
or
think-
anything like that.
I think we shall entrail ourselves to find him.
Can I
Now,
just point
we
out
have
the
a
main?
we have
the-
a fixed fee because we are a
Oh.
professional unit.
Yeah.
Hey.
So as long as you agree to our terms, that will be sufficient.
I
Here's
pull
a
off one of the
contract.
books now, and I have like a contract. Yeah. In one of the books
Rip
on my
out-
back.
this is
and-
my-
Rip a page out of the
secretary.
diary. Rip a page out of the diary.
This is my secretary, Marcus Rutherford. Marcus,
Yes. Hello.
where's
so
your
I
miniskirt,
come forward and
Marcus? What's going on?
Oh well, look. I do what I can to make sure everybody's happy.
Those leotards are
so-
fantastic.
Well, it's a leotard of +1, John. So it's
is
not just
very
any standard
revealing.
leotard.
Very,
It's-
very
it's-
revealing.
It's war fitted, so it's just
A
amazing.
war fitted. Excellent.
Yeah,
So much
so,
support in
I'm-
chat for my names. Thank you. Excellent. I love it.
Enemies get disadvantage on grapple checks, don't they?
I don't know why. I thought there I was thinking I was going out and making a difference in the world, and apparently just I'm a big barrel chested kind of guy, so the +1 leotard it holds all the right things in the right places. So very
Marcus,
happy
you got
with
that contract that you carry around with you?
Oh
mate?
yes, right here.
Nice,
And
nice,
Oh,
nice.
I go to one on my. I have a big chest on my back and hanging off out of books, and
You got a
write
chest in
down
the front
everything
too.
because I'm a bard. So I just so I grab one of the sheets and I write it up a little quick contract and ask
Excellent.
for a reasonable amount of gold. Looking at Zafar and just going.
doesn't look particularly flush.
no, he doesn't. He also says at this point, he says, "Oh, is it an opportune moment to perhaps raise the issue that I can't read?"
Oh, mate, that's
Oh,
even
that,
better.
no
the main
problem
reason why I
whatsoever.
Yeah, I haven't read my
It's-
son's journal. I would like to read
Oh, the
my
journal-
son's
the
journal because
journal
I'm
is
actually
always
quite a
safe.
curious. Yeah, I'm actually quite a curious and intrusive father, but unfortunately, I can't read. But
And also, you've got
I'm
this
sure
accent that just keeps waving in and out of different countries. So that's the other amazing thing. It's just like,
my accents are the best, aren't they, chat?
yeah, don't.
Especially,
All right, so
Excellent. So I'm sure I can trust you because you look like a wise and wily group. I shall sign this gladly with my usual symbol, which is
X.
an X, 2 crossed lines. That's a letter I do know.
This X looks very similar to the X marks the spot on your son's map. I worry that someone's just signed his journal randomly.
Can I assure you, you're
It's a
severely
legacy for
overthinking?
you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a legacy.
Right. Okay.
Ben, what do we know about the lands to the east of here? Is there any particular monsters or denizens that are roaming that area that we should?
Yeah, I mean, this new environment that's been around for some time, some frustrating time, is not pleasant for humans, and the lands closer and closer to the towns have become increasingly impinged upon by vicious beasts and mysterious things.
Oh dear.
People who travel out, people who travel out across the lake and across the mountains tend not to come back, or at least only small parts of them come back in bottles and preserved. And it's pretty vicious territory.
Do I roll a history? Because I could be writing about
sucks
it.
to be Jatira or Marcus then, because the rest of us aren't human. So,
sorry, I was.
you guys are in front. You guys are in front. So the three of us are behind, and
So
I was about to say. So
leave-
nothing's changed.
We'll leave the tavern and telling the bartender that we'll settle our tab when we return.
Can Andrew settle our tab? Can Andrew settle our tab as we leave?
Oh, yeah, it's part of the contract. That was in the
Gonna
subclause.
dump Andrew in it.
Yep. I'll see what I can do. Oh, that's a different accent completely.
We'll do that fabulous Hollywood, point at Andrew and then the bartender and then wave and take our farewell.
Look at what's happening in chat. Can I just point out, chat, this is about the quickest I've ever got the DiceStormers from plot hook into adventure. So clearly it was the right thing to do to make the plot hook so incredibly obvious. Thank you. Last time I gave a plot hook like that.
What?
Hang on, there was a hook? What are you...
I thought this
I
was
just
a
thought it was
total
living in
overworld
a-
experience.
See?
I'm living a story.
It's a counselling session.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the. Oh, actually, I didn't. I'm making it up. I didn't go to the pub just the other day, and Andrew walked in and asked me to rescue his son. But something very similar did happen.
Yeah,
That's right.
Very true.
Obviously, I should make my plot hooks even more obvious in the future. So you head out into the snow.
That'd be helpful.
That's a good name for a pub. That's the next pub we go into. The plot hook.
It's
The plot.
plot hook. I like it. So yeah, you trudge through the snow. It's unpleasantly cold, but you are well equipped, as all Icewind Dalers are now, used to the seeming never-ending cold, the driving snow, the lack of sunlight. It just sits just below the horizon, like you're above the Arctic Circle in winter.
That's how I picture London.
Yes, that's right. London is pretty similar. Having lived there in the midwinter, the sun sort of comes up about 15 degrees and goes, "Oh, I couldn't be bothered anymore," and goes back down again. Actual visible ice forms on the streets. It's like that, except medieval. Though a lot of London could probably pass as medieval pretty close.
Like London. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
yeah.
like London.
That's right. Absolutely no red double-decker buses go past, as do no black taxis, and there's not a whole lot of surveillance cameras just about on every corner for your own safety. But probably the wizards are taking care of that through magical means. You leave
A
town.
lot of what
Are
there's
we still
not.
talking about London?
No, I think.
Where's
I
my...
think
I need my tinfoil hat.
we should have checked the wizard surveillance footage to find out what happened to Andrew's son.
Yeah.
It's true.
Foolish guys.
Absolutely. But unfortunately,
No.
it's too late.
The plot hook is still pulling us in one direction.
It is. It's amazing. Like
Like a line.
like a ship.
Yeah.
That's right. Like a
fishing
line.
line on the road here. Let's follow that.
Railroading is always the best thing to do with your players, I find. Absolutely.
I'm enjoying it.
So
Thank you,
I'm
Johnny. Yes,
as the map
absolutely.
clearly pointed?
Mm-hmm.
What is the
So
Dungeons and Dragons equivalent of Lonely Planet?
A history.
Oh.
That's what it is.
History check. Give us a history check, Nathan, for Marcus Rutherford as he trawls through one of his
Can I
books.
just say, for the first roll, over 10.
Oh,
I rolled 11
amazing.
plus 4.
It's
That's
amazing.
15.
It's amazing.
That's a
Nathan, we've
Reasonable
got 2
number.
hours, mate. Don't peek early. All right?
yeah. I was about to say,
Pace
hold
yourself.
everything back.
So about where it says on the map, crossing this lake could be scary because there's creatures in the water who will hunt you. hunt me as I go across in his journal. You're aware that there's a lake, which is often infested by dangerous creatures, which will be scary when you cross them and will hunt you if you cross it. But you don't have to swim, at least, because you know that the fishermen keep their rickety rowboats in rows along the shore. If you knew precisely how many rowboats there were before the young boy left on his journey, you'd know that there's one less than that at the moment. But there still is an ample supply for you. What do you do?
Is there like any markings or like mooring lines that seem to have a space missing? Can we make a perception check?
Oh, nice. Yes, that sounds like a great idea.
Now this lake, is it filled with like sheet ice, and therefore the track of a rowboat that would have way through such should be a really easy line to follow. In our
I like it. I like
That was
it.
3 days ago, though.
It was 3 days ago, though. So, however,
Oh, okay, true, good point. It's been snow
I love how we
occasional
work together as a
disrupted it.
team.
Yes.
There is a gap in the boat. I mean, no one would be crazy enough to go in the row of boats. There's a gap in the boat. No one would be crazy enough to go fishing at this time of year, though this time of year seems to be going on and on and on. And yeah, there's a gap there. All the other boats are marked with X's to indicate the name of the person who owns the boat. And
Nice.
the one with
I go through and check
Andrew's-
each individual name, Ben. What are they?
Am I going to have to refer to him as Andrew's son now forever because
Well, it could be Andrew
no one asked
Jr.
what his name was?
We did have the suggestion. We did have the suggestion of Andrew Primaris and Andrew Secundus. So Andrew the second, Andrew the first,
Okay.
all the way up to 10.
Yes, I like it.
You know.
Andrew Secundus. I like it. Oh, another fishing hook reference. I love it. Thank you.
Nice.
From chat, do you think the boats are in good condition or bad condition? How likely do you think they
Don't
are
ask
to
the
float?
chat, Dad.
You're giving that to chat.
Yeah.
What do they
I think. I think.
What do you
I'm-
think
I'm-
they'll say, Ben?
I'm definitely going to avoid. I'm definitely going to avoid Triple X because I don't want to upset Vin Diesel. I'm not going to take his boat.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
Bad. Yes, Stoney comes in. Oh, hello, Stoney. Excellent. Boats are leaky. Bad. Perhaps Andrew has a daughter at some point.
What a shock.
Andrea. Excellent. Awful. So leaky. Good condition. You traitor. Rotting.
Nice
Excellent.
one.
Good boats. No
Okay,
oars.
Good.
I jumped in the
Good-
good condition one.
You drop.
Can I
jump in the
take
good
the
No.
bad condition one? I want the one that's like gone like scratches on the side and I know has been through a lot and is still floating. That's the one I think is gonna like,
Right. Nice. Good one.
And then I
the one
cast
that's
mend
got
on it.
all the damage on it that's made it through. That's
So
Same
kind of
thing
your,
As we row,
yeah.
we continuously cast mending as we go. Should be fine.
Does someone have mending?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
You do. That sounds like a great idea. You can even cast mending before you go if you like.
What a crazy idea.
You cross the
I
lake.
think I will.
we just
You cast mend. Excellent. Just because it's a cantrip, so you can cast it all along.
I will continue.
Just pointing
how to
at
make it
each
through
the
the
hole
lake
to
is
say
just
casting
consistently
mending.
cast it.
I don't think
I
mending
love it.
requires concentration, but maybe it's the case.
I love it.
Continuously doing it.
I'm going to find myself a rowing boat sound here, and you head off across the lake.
I'm going to sit right at the front. What's the front of a boat? The bow.
Yes.
It's called
Back-
the
I'm
human shield.
going to ignite my sword, and I'm going to place
Oh,
it out in front to melt the ice. Feed out
oh,
Jimmy.
Ooh, like an
I
icebreaker.
love it.
Nice.
I love it. That's beautiful. Steaming. So you're steaming along through the ice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Steamboat.
Good.
Yeah, not noticeable at all over long distances with a large
Hang on.
pointing directly at us.
Knowing that we've got a flimsy warforged, who's doing the rowing? I'm not. Oh man, I'm not keen.
I have a strength of +4, so I can row. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to affirm Jataya and just say, you know, mate, that's a really clever idea. You know, you're really full of bright ideas, and I just want to say you've come up with some really stinking good ideas lately,
Wow.
and this is just one of them. And I just want to say that just keep up the good work, mate.
Oh, that's
I'm also
beautiful.
writing
That's all
it
I have
down.
to say.
That's beautiful.
Really good thing. Yeah, no, that was special. That was a moment. I'm going to note that
And
one
I'm
down.
gonna rub his back,
up the history.
just not in any weird way, but just you know, just a nice gentle rub
Wait,
through his dragon scale armor.
Yeah.
you're a +4 strength cleric, so you're a
I am.
buffer. Right.
Yes.
A buff
plus 5
buffer.
charisma.
I love that.
Buff buffer. He's a buff buffer named Zuffer. Oh my gosh. There you go.
Would you like to take any tactics to try and avoid danger on the lake? He said, intending to give the impression that anything you roll would make any difference of any kind at all, because it's inevitable you will be attacked. I mean, what tactics are you going to take to keep yourself safe?
I don't know.
I'm going to
chat.
have a really
Should
good
we?
light source right at the front.
A light source at the front. Excellent. Yes.
I'm gonna look at chat and say, please help us.
I'm just going to be aggressive. I'm just going to, if there's like a mosquito, I'm going to Eldritch Blast it. But
Oh.
Yeah, we're
your
being very
threshold of...
stealthy, Ben.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Stealthy.
With a
so
giant
with a
flaming
steaming
sword.
pile of water.
I think Johnny started us down this path. So
My armor gives me disadvantage on stealth checks, so...
Disadvantage. You're actually making noise, though you're not moving. Like even though you're not you're still going clankety clankety clank.
Yeah.
right.
But
If
we're
just
gonna roll.
listen out.
Oh no, I'm rubbing his back
Go straight up.
while I'm
Just
rowing.
listen to the audio. Listen to the sound. Here we are.
Yep.
What's
Is that something?
It's not the. I feel like we should be
Okay,
going
on the bottom
faster
of the
than
boat.
that with +4.
It's the sound of
If anything
friendship.
goes wrong, I'll just
I'm
simply put my
rubbing.
shield. I'll put my shield upside down in the water, and I'll just use coracle. If
You know that thing where you see kind of like the top of a large sea animal thing come out of the water and go back down again. It sounds like this.
No, never.
No,
Like we were.
I
like
have
when
no
we were on
reference
Lake
point.
Loch Ness. Yes.
How deep is
Like
the
a Loch
lake,
Ness.
Ben?
Does anyone? You probably know that, Nathan, from your history check. What did you actually roll? You rolled more than 10.
11.
I
rolled
did.
11. It's amazing.
That for me is a win.
It's about
The
a
lake
foot
is
deep.
the lake is fathomless, and no one knows what be at the bottom of it. Some say dreadful
So I know
creatures
that
would
I
tear
don't
out,
know.
etc., etc., etc. That's right. Yeah, it's
So it's about a
longer
foot
than
deep.
man and deeper than man could know. That's right. You get out and walk. That's right.
It'd be
No,
faster
it's
to walk.
very deep.
Hang on,
fantastic.
Speed.
Zuffer, how are you rubbing his back and rowing? Because rowing takes 2 hands.
I like
Are you like
Yeah.
rubbing him with your forehead? Yeah, but then
Oh no!
there's
What?
another
Just
oar.
what?
We're just going around in
for
circles.
about 15 meters out. 15 meters out of the harbour, just going around a snow. I'll
I
row
don't
the
know if
other
you
side.
catch that, but like
You're
like that.
feeling better, Marcus. Nice. Love it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, give me perception checks because I'm going to see who gets the jump
Oh, I got
on the
lots.
monster.
Hang on, what do you mean jump, Ben?
Well,
Probably
you know,
me. I only got a 2.
21.
I got a 19.
I-
I see things
I
because there's
rolled
like
one.
a flaming light at the front of the boat.
I'm a little distracted
21.
right now.
I see things even better.
Rearing up out of the water comes a scaly sea creature, terrifying you for a moment with its large flashing teeth. It arches its neck back, and just as it's coming to come in and bite you, it's like repelled by an invisible force, cries out with a howl, and sinks back in the water. But don't worry, there are more coming at you.
Who didn't make their perception check? Because that'd be hilarious.
Oh,
with
I
just
did
that.
it.
Nice. You
Yeah,
can see that.
can I just say, I didn't even see that. I rolled a 1. Like I'm looking at my feet, and I'm just looking. I'm looking over at Suffer, and I'm like, okay, so now, stroke, and like, yeah, I totally missed it.
You don't
So
even,
there are
you don't even
When,
see it.
when you roll a boat, you face back where you came from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
why
right.
it's offered.
Yeah. So it's all
right.
fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing. I turn around now, and I start rowing the right way. Okay.
Excellent.
Sorry about
Also,
that.
I'm actually rowing more like, if I can do it correctly, rubbing Jataya's
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and rowing like
Yep.
like that.
Oh, so you're
Yeah.
I'm glad we've sorted role playing how we're going to row
Okay.
the boat. That,
Are there
Yeah,
more
that's
of these things, Ben?
There are more of these things coming. There's another one
Okay,
that
great.
rears up out of the water. If you've got enough sight line on it, Derek, would you like to try and attack this thing, this ancient creature, this sea monster?
I am going to cast Dragon's Breath on myself
Oh, nice.
You're gonna breathe
and
on
start
yourself.
shooting lightning bolts. So I will focus my magical energy on my mouth, and electrical tendrils start crackling around me, and I shoot a bolt of lightning out at anything that comes close.
Excellent. I love it. So you're gonna attack one of these things?
Yeah. It's a 15
So is that-
cone, and
Oh,
take
We
36
noticed, did we
damage.
just notice that? Did we just notice that the first one got repelled magically without us having to do anything?
Yeah,
Yes.
it just bounced off something. And
Do I need to make a save, Derek?
yeah, saving throw. My DC is 14.
Oh, it rolls a 4. It's not a good sign. I'm rolling like Nathan, so it fails its save.
Haha,
like
we
Nathan.
succeeded the adventure.
12 points of damage.
12
Electric-
points of damage. Excellent, excellent.
Playing.
And hopefully, because it's in the water, it spreads to all the other ones and they all die.
Yes, you just put electricity in the water. You do. The electricity crackles out, and there's howls of anger and frustration from various beasts, which now rear up out of the water. Let's go in alphabetical, in clockwise order from Derek down to Johnny. What do you do, Johnny? There's 3 of these have just appeared.
How close are they?
Lightning themselves. Various different distances. There's one, let's say for your sake, since you're a fighter wielding a melee weapon, there's one right next to the boat. It's incredible.
Right. Who would have thought? Well, luckily my sword is at the ready.
Excellent. Yes,
and
as
already
you said.
flaming. So I viciously swing my sword, cutting at this thing in the water,
Bring it
reaching
plus
out
1 vicious.
precariously.
Excellent. Give us an attack roll. The drama.
16 and 11.
16 and 11. The 11 doesn't hit. The 16 does, though.
All right. The 16 was 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points of damage plus 5 points of fire damage.
Oh, burning fire slashes through its neck. You don't actually notice that you miss with the second shot, Johnny, because a similar blade cut strokes across its body in a different spot, almost as if from behind, like you've rushed round and appeared on the other side, but you don't notice that. You just think you struck twice because you're quite confident. Murray, what do you do?
Well, as a warlock who doesn't like to be a stereotypical warlock, I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy as the sounds in the water somewhere else of much easier prey splashing around, wanting to be eaten, so that these are going to get distracted and go over there.
Am I slightly concerned that sounds like me over there now?
The creatures are going to need to see 16 intelligence check against being fooled by my Thaumaturgy spell. Because a lot of people think that Thaumaturgy is not useful, but I can manifest a minor wonder, such as someone swimming over there who's easier to eat than us.
Like Nathan, pretty much. That's right.
Like Nathan,
Marcus over there.
but not Nathan, because he's over there, not here in the boat.
I'm going to let it affect 2 of them. They are not very bright. Intelligence 2 of animalistic basic intelligence. One of them is strangely on top of the task and makes the save. Another one turns and swims away,
Sweet.
licking its lips. Yep. Like a dog that's been offered a treat.
Nice.
Marcus. It thinks as it swims away. But there's another one that looks at you with a wily eye in a weirdly intelligent way. It's the one with the red stripe on its head, just to make it easy to identify at later points.
And the glowing point at the base of its tail, that's clearly its weak point, right?
That's right, yes. That's
Fantastic, fantastic.
You only do that every 5 cycles and after you've jumped over its laser attack twice. Yes, that's right.
That's it.
Excellent.
That's it.
Nathan, what does Marcus Rutherford do?
Well, do I notice? I rolled a 1 on perception. Like, am I still like just rowing? I'm like, I don't want to sound silly, but like, can I just roll perception on my own just to see if I see?
That's right.
I think
That's right. Yes, you can roll that.
over there. That's what I think.
I just rolled a 2, so I'm gonna keep rowing because I'm a role player and I remain character the entire time.
That's
so
beautiful. That's
yes,
beautiful.
I keep rowing.
Cool Spark said in chat that I shouldn't identify it with the red stripe, but I should just call it Andrew. Okay, it's the one called Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Very true.
And Marcus,
Andrew, we've got a message from your father.
Excellent. So you keep rowing, Nathan. What does John do? What does
Okay, how many are left?
Zufa do? There are only 2 left.
Only 2 left? All right.
One that Derek has hit and one that Johnny has hit, which is right near the boat.
Okay, I'm going to cast Bane on it, on the one that is the closest. So I'm going to carve a love heart on the ice just next to me and put my face in the love heart and show that it is a Bane to me. with
Excellent.
me as a smiley face with a little orc teeth. Yeah, and so what it does is
Like the
it's a
emoji?
charisma 10 to for the creature. So if you want to roll that, Ben.
Excellent. Charisma 10. It rolls a
and-
9 with -3, so that's a 6, so it fails.
Okay,
doesn't it?
so for the next minute, when it attacks, it has to subtract D4 from its attack roll or its saving throws.
Okay, good. So
There you
it's
go.
the one that Derek was attacking that's been electrified and now is heartbroken as well.
And I say, mate, don't even come
Mate.
closer.
Steve Irwin.
Forget about it, mate.
Forget about it, mate. Don't even start.
The one that Johnny attacked lashes out while the baned one, who is nameless, is sad. There are 3 left, aren't there? Oh, a 19 on the attack, +6, 25 to hit Johnny. I think that's going to be a hit. Whoa, 3d6 +4 piercing damage as its vicious, sharp teeth dig into you. Whoa, 15 +4, 19 hit points damage straight up.
Oh my god.
Things
Okay, I've underestimated.
serious.
That's very nice.
Did you say there's 3 of them still? I think there were
One-
2 of them.
I did say there were
On
2.
the way.
One's on the way,
I
that's
thought you
right.
said
The
there were
one.
3 of them left. I did 2 of them left. I would have cast this
No,
at level 3,
no.
at level 2.
No, I did say there were 3.
Gotta
You're
go
right.
with the
There's the
small
one
one.
next to the boat, which has just bit Johnny. There's the one that Derek lightning bolted, which you baned, and there's Andrew. I'd forgotten Andrew, so yes. The one that how could I forget Andrew? The one that Derek lightning bolted and you baned, Johnny. John. I'm going to give it a 50-50 chance. Yes, no dice here. Yeah, it's really sad and depressed. Like it had a date. It had a date with one of its friend dinosaurs, and it's still waiting by the phone. And its friend dinosaur hasn't rung back yet. Not that
Hey,
phones have been
dinosaur?
invented.
Dinosaur.
Right. Well,
Right.
yes.
I think you leaked some information there, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Not that I would notice on a roll of 2 on perception, but
Does anyone have knowledge
Well, you're
dinosaur?
improving. By the end of the game, you should be rolling 20s every time.
That's right.
oh no, I'll be rolling like 4, and I'll be super happy.
You go back down again. Yeah.
While it's just viciously attacked Johnny's character, at that same moment, as its head's attached onto Johnny's shoulder, its teeth piercing right through Johnny's armor in like a kind of like a collar, turning his armor into a colander at his shoulder. So if you need to strain some pasta later, you can just pour it into Johnny and sort of hold him upside down, and all the water will fall out. The head is actually lopped clean off, and the body of the Plesiosaurus sinks into the water, its red blood spreading out on the cold surface and crystallizing with the ice. And I suppose what do you do, Johnny, to remove this head? What did your child do?
You should keep it.
Remove the head.
Keep it there,
It's
Johnny.
attached to your shoulder.
I might not keep it attached to my shoulder,
No,
but I'll
keep it.
certainly
Yeah.
keep it.
It's going
It's a good
straight in the
trophy.
mantelpiece. It's going straight in the pool room. That one.
Absolutely.
So I'll just
We're not
like
throwing away
prise its
treasure.
jaws
That's
open
loot.
and then put it next to me in the boat.
Sunjammer says, this is some of the best DMing I've ever seen, Team Ben. I love it. Thank
Stop
you
this,
very
Team
much.
Ben. None of that.
Yeah. What's
All right.
Ben stuff?
So the Plesiosaurus next to the boat has been dispatched. There just remains the one, Derek, that you lightning bolted before. Would you like to attack it again?
Yes, I breathe in, going and
Oh,
explode out with some more fire breath.
Fire breath. Lightning breath. Excellent.
No, I get,
Whoa,
I get, oh,
I imagine.
Lightning spell.
did not roll very well. I rolled an 8 damage.
Doesn't it have to save against your lightning breath?
It does, yes. Saving throw.
It does. You don't need. Just the damage was only 8. It fails the saving throw, and it gets it is wreathed in electricity, but not very much electricity. Is that what you're saying? Because you didn't roll much damage.
Kind of glancing blow.
Glancing
The
blow.
electricity kind of curls around.
That's right. Just goes past his shoulder.
That's just like what? Just like static. Like a little bit. Of
Yeah, like at the
Just
shopping
a little
centre.
bit,
Yeah. That's right.
glancing blow.
Dinosaur's hairs stand on end.
Well, no, we've got more. Didn't we get that it was a plesiosaur? What didn't you just give that away as well, Pete?
Plesiosaurus.
Yeah,
Absolutely, I did. Yes,
Plesiosaurus.
you can look up the specific stats if you like and find out that they have a frightening number of hit points. Johnny, the one that you defeated is gone. No, it isn't gone. It's 10% there because 10% is attached to you. What do you do?
No, I unattached it and placed it next
yeah.
to me in the boat.
Nice.
Okay,
an
good.
action.
Yeah.
That's probably my whole turn, I reckon.
Fantasy.
No.
Yeah.
Tires Fishing 101. You let it bite you, cut its head off, and you put it in the boat next to you.
Yeah.
Come back next time for other adventurous and fishing tales.
Excellent.
Hilarious.
Excellent. Mary, what do you do?
So where are these two plesiosaurs coming from now? The front of the boat, like the side of the bow?
Oh, that sounds like a good idea, if it helps you in some way.
It does indeed. So I'm going to cast Cloud of Daggers, which I fill the air with spinning daggers in a cube 5 feet on each side from a point I choose. So a creature that enters that spell area for the first time or starts a turn on its turn there will take 6d4 slashing damage. So essentially I've created our own force field of spinning daggers in the air of either side of our boat. So currently our boat is forging through the water because of the great rowing that's happening, and there's basically spinning daggers on either side of the bow, so any creature that comes close will actually get slashed.
The unabated rowing from Marcus Rutherford, who's not been distracted at all, drives the boat into the plesiosaurus. Can you give us that damage, Murray?
64.
Or Andrew.
Cool.
I thought you said 64. I'm like, oh my god.
64!
Oh,
That's an amazing roll on 64. 6, 8. Oh, Carl, maths, you're really leaving me. 12, 15.
add up the small numbers. 15 hit points damage.
Yes.
Add up the small numbers.
I'm going to double both of those damages.
Spinning daggers into some kind of propeller to allow us to.
That's right.
Ooh, nice!
How long does it last for?
I don't know if I can move them. What do I do? I have to concentrate.
Movable. Can you steer? That's the question.
Yeah, it lasts up to a minute, so definitely.
I love it.
Don't move. Are we just sailing through spinning daggers on this boat?
I've centered them on the bow so that they're 5 feet cubed on either side of the bow. So no, they won't.
That's
move
a
with
question
us.
for chat. Does the spell move with the person who cast?
spell
If you cast it on a
move with
moving
them?
vessel?
No, I choose
That's
a
right.
point to cast it at. So I chose the.
It's a point in space. I mean, what about the rotation of the planet? Maybe they head off at like
That's very
1,300 miles an hour to the west. That's right.
Either way, I'm getting hit. That's all I know.
Fantastic. I'm going to double all that damage because weirdly, it's like there's two of you, and attacks come from both sides. Daggers are flying in the air like a swarm of crows, and lightning is striking from all directions like a thunderstorm. And swords are being twisted and driven. And these plesiosaurs, especially Andrew the plesiosaurus, is rethinking its life and thinking it might go home and start.
Does Andrew have a
flourish.
family? The beast Andrew? Does it have like small children and like?
Well, there could be
He's
an
got a
egg.
son.
Explicit says the spell doesn't move.
Could be like an egg clutch somewhere. Oh.
Oh, that's why he was knowingly looking at you.
That's why they're
Chat, do you reckon I should let Andrew? Should I let Andrew survive so he can return to his family, his small children? Ben knows his planetary motion equations. It all depends on the latitude, the speed of the westward motion. So that's given you a clue about the location of the the Icewind Dale on the planet. Presuming, of course, the planet's not flat and under a
latitude
dome.
or longitude? Which one? Both.
Latitude will affect the speed. The longitude won't affect.
I'm so glad we're going through these good questions in D&D.
Excellent. As a parting shot, Marcus, does he do anything other than row into the blades?
Should I roll perception?
Yes. Do you notice the swarm of horrifying spinning blades?
I feel like Marcus
Yes.
is doing
Let Andrew go.
RPG,
Save Andrew.
rowboat gaming.
Yeah.
No, well, you presume that people would notice, but I rolled a 7, and a 7 plus perception,
It's a 1.
13.
13. Oh, it's an absolute consensus in the chat that Andrew should go. His floral destiny awaits him. Save Andrew. Hashtag.
Andrew was
Hashtag
tempted to be killed.
Oh, I love it.
There was, however, one vote of no at the beginning.
That's right.
So my turn is I'm going to stand up and go, what is happening here?
Wait, are you rocking the boat?
And just be absolutely I will be shocked, Derek, get it? Because you're at what's happening. And I will start preparing myself by removing my coat and revealing my +1 leotard of dance.
You're gonna
and I will start looking for my weapon that I didn't have ready.
Excellent. By the time you've prepared, the plesiosauri have all turned tail. Andrew and his son, who is the one remaining plesiosaurus, whose name is also presumably Andrew, which is a brilliant name.
We're
isn't
up
it,
to
NPCs?
Quintus. We've had Andrew, Primaris, Secundus, Tertius, Quartus, and Quintus. So yes, Andrew the Fifth.
And the Andrews do return to the bottom of the fathomless lake, where they do hold a Kickstarter in order to gain funds to start a floristry business made mainly of seaweed, and they prosper. Perhaps returning at another date to seek revenge.
Surely that would be a splash starter in a lake rather than
a splash starter. I like it. A splash starter. Oh, fantastic! You have survived.
So glad I game with you guys.
I need like a dex check, Nathan. This is going to be DC 15 to see if you can steer the boat. And John, you're also rowing? No, you're not rowing anymore.
Well, I'm going to go over to Johnny, and I might give him a quick, rub on the shoulder, and I'll just say, mate, do you remember that time that little piglet nibbled on your toe? I just remember that time when you were a little kid and those other little kids laughed at you and you got bitten. And do you remember that time and you were crying and the kids laughed at you, mate? Do you remember that? Do you remember that, mate? Do you remember? And as I'm doing that, the healing starts, and the healing starts from within, and as I'm curing light wounds, and I'm just like reassuring Jataya, and I'm like, mate, do you remember that? And and you never really got over that little piglet nibbling on your toe and the other kids laughing at you, but it's going to be all right. We're going to get through this, and you're going to push through, and you're going to get better. You're going to get better.
I'm actually starting to feel better.
If you were to characterize the amount they get better with a number, what would you characterize?
Numeric better. How much better?
It could be 2d8 minus 1. But how can you put a number on mental health?
Yourself to
how can you put a number on healing, Ben?
Exactly.
Numbers are irrelevant. Okay, it takes time to heal these kinds of wounds.
Yeah.
Maybe
I can't wait to what
it could be high or low, Johnny. It's up to you.
I can actually. I was going to say I can take a second wind, which means that I can regain health in a short rest. I assume sitting in a boat is a short rest. Have we got enough time for a short rest?
Yeah, you sit down. You sit down, Jataya, and you just have a rest.
I'll sit down and take a short rest.
Yeah,
I'd like to point out to my. I'd like to point out to my gaming buddies the support that's in chat for my dungeon mastering, how excellent it is, especially from Explicit 25.
I want to point out that someone raised the issue of our song, Benjamin, of He Fell in the Water from way back when, and some love from Maelstrom.
Beautiful.
Can I just point out, every game is a Maelstrom game. Love for some Maelstrom there. Love it. Thank you, Stoney. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Team Murray.
If you'd like to see more gameplay of such crystalline clarity and beauty, you should definitely follow us on YouTube and Twitch. Just search for DiceStormers on those things. Excellent. So you make it to the edge of the lake.
Love it.
Oh, it is absolutely.
And the Maelstrom celebration is on next week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's every day.
Ben,
every day is
every
Maelstrom
day.
celebration.
Ben, my character is now ready to fight. I just want to point out.
Yes, that's right.
As per normal, on time and ready to go.
Let's push on. Let's push on before my Maelstrom talk is made.
That's right. Excellent.
Yes.
Like a figurehead mounted on the front of a great vessel, except without the great vessel, and you're not.
So can I, since my spinning daggers are still working, can we use them like a paddle steamer? Can I lower them in the water and basically
nothing could go wrong.
Propel us.
At all.
Oh,
I have seen suggestions in the chat that the spell is immovable, but I'm going to ignore the rules and logic and allow you to do that. Can you give me a dex check to see how well you can manipulate your spell?
Dex check?
A dex check.
Yeah, this won't go wrong.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like he knows my stats and chooses the worst one. Okay. No, I rolled a 17. 19.
Ah, beautiful. So you drive the blades into the water, and the boat careers across the rest of the lake through the ice.
So
which
we all start
Johnny
singing
has no chance to melt.
We all start singing tunes from Showboat now because we're in a paddle steamer on a lake.
Excellent. I love it. You arrive on the other. Ben's logic is the best logic. I love it. You arrive on the other side and you make your way across across the land. The weather serves only to worsen as the blizzard sets in. Pathetic fallacy, setting the tone for the film. If it was a film, I think we'd be going with sort of a washed out color thing, not much palette, maybe strong hues of blue, close-ups of cheeks with sort of encrusted ice on them. It's one of those.
Beards with icicles. Nice.
One of those productions where the actors would talk for years about just how terrible the experience was, but how the commitment of the director was very, very impressive. You come to the part of the map,
Is that
the
Ben
highly
patting
detailed.
yourself on your own back?
That's right. Yes, that's right.
The chat isn't enough, Ben.
That's
I know,
right.
yeah, no. The chat support is not enough. Ben needs to support himself. So
Yes.
Right.
Zuffa, he's really building himself up. Anyway, Ben, go on. Sorry.
Does
You
Zuffa
come to the part in the journal where it says, yes, he probably does. Crossing this scary rope bridge will probably be quite dangerous, it says in the journal, with an arrow pointing to a small, beautifully detailed illustration of a rope bridge. And I shall find my rope bridge sound.
drawn isometrically? That's pretty tricky.
I'm
That's
gonna
drawn.
mend it.
Oh,
Mending. Always take mending.
How did you break the adventure? Well, we mended everything and it fixed everything, and then we just used it as suggested.
that's right.
This rickety,
Cast-
you mean brand new rope bridge?
You mean this brand new bridge that's structurally made well?
So you presumably men can't just heal an entire rope bridge, but I suppose as
You
you
can
go
if you
across,
take
you can
time.
find small. If you take time.
Well, apparently
Probably
you
mend
can
as you
cast
go.
cantrips over and over again. I think they're
Yes,
like that.
tiny small sections of the rope bridge, I suppose.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Foot at a
individual
time.
thing.
Oh, so we're going to do like that really cool thing where we like edge along the rope bridge slowly, looking like we're nervous, but in fact we're just casting
That's right.
mending as we take each step.
How many cantrip? Who else has mending?
I
don't.
thought I did. I do not. I have.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if the entire group just had mending? We
Okay.
just went, became
What did you do?
architects or builders.
It's just you, John.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That's,
All the stonework becomes absolutely beautifully done in town.
Yeah.
No one has absolutely.
Only-
No one's
The chat
USB.
says Mending doesn't cure design flaws.
Okay.
That's true.
Yes.
Surely,
Okay. I'm gonna.
Sorry.
surely at higher levels, mending becomes building. Surely. You know.
all right.
Okay.
Well, maybe we tie ropes to each other just in case, and so
Okay.
we can secure and then cross.
Excellent.
Do the
Yeah,
whole
so
like,
a rope to the creature made of wood and metal. I think that's a good idea.
and then we should
Sure that
definitely
you're-
have Vale go first as the heaviest,
Yes.
so that we all fall through.
You know
If
that
Vale
moment where
goes
you
first, it just
forgot
kills
that
us.
you
Why haven't we thought to
didn't put
cast
feather
mending?
fall in your wit?
Why
Oh,
haven't
we're
we
all
thought to
talking at
cast
once.
mending on Vale?
Yes. Because
I'm not broken.
Murray.
He was-
Yeah, he's not
he
broken.
was born like
okay.
that. Okay.
Okay.
That's right.
He was born that way. You can't change.
You don't
His
need to
unique
fix
look.
me.
Look, you
Right.
can't
All
fix
right,
what's
so we
broken
walk up to
inside.
this bridge.
As
Nice.
you make your way slowly across, you see white, mysterious creatures, barely visible through the driving snow, appear on the other side of the terrifying crevasse. At
check
that
the
point, you look
traps.
down, and all you can see down there is ragged spikes of ice and sharp stones after a lengthy fall. It would certainly be certain death to fall off this bridge, tied to a warforge or not. These white creatures approach the other side of the rope bridge and start to frantically try and cut through the ropes. What are you going to do? Let's all roll initiative to see who gets the jump on this. Quickly cry out if you get a big number. Nathan, you don't need to bother.
That's okay. Yeah, no.
I got a. What are we? 17.
Initiative.
15.
Got a
15, 19.
I
Sounds
got
like Mary.
52.
No one's
I got a
beating
three,
Mary.
a four.
Excellent. Mary, what do you do? They're going to cut the bridge and drop you into the depths.
Oh, look, God, really? Oh, do I have to? Okay, well, I've got a range of 120 feet on my Eldritch Blast. So I'm going to choose the two front ones, and I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast on them. To take D10,
Excellent.
and they're also going to be pushed back, so they take force damage. They
Ooh.
are going to... beams of crackling blue gold-flecked energy flick out from my hands towards both the front ones, and I'm going to push them into the guys behind. They all kind of like Keystone Cops fall backwards and then
Away
pass
from
more
the
time.
dangerous edge that they might have fallen down otherwise. Excellent. Okay, good. Do I need to make a
Yes.
save or what?
I'm not sure that you do make a save.
Is Eldritch Blast taking out the end of the bridge completely?
Just take 'em
I
out,
love
baby.
It, Cold Sparks.
So there's 2 beams, so 1 each.
Oh, that's the insta win button, isn't it?
Insta win for
It
the
is.
warlock. Hang on,
Tell me what effect it has on these white
Do they get-
unidentified
do they
creatures,
get, no,
which I'm sure to actually mention.
instantaneous. No, they get nothing. So here we go. 1d10 plus 5 plus. Yeah, so 1d10 plus 5.
Instantaneous means it just happens instantly, but is there a save?
First one takes 10 damage and is pushed
No.
back. Second one, takes
damage?
15 damage and is pushed back.
How? They
The
say.
bridge falls down.
Oh, okay, so you hit with both of them, yeah?
Hang on. What do they say? They say,
Oh,
oh.
I was starting Sirenscape so you could hear them. That's what they say.
Nice.
Dramatic. It's immersive. It's beautiful. Excellent. So what was the damage? Sorry, since I was totally paying attention.
10 and 15.
10 and 15.
Yeah.
Nice. Raw.
And I'm slightly
10 and
disappointed that I had to use Eldritch Blast, but that's okay.
Yes.
I'll hide that.
But
I'll push
no
that
one notices.
disappointment down
Absolutely.
deep where Vale can't find it.
Excellent. Are you going to move forward across the bridge as well?
Yes, moving,
Good.
blasting.
Give me a dex check, Mary.
Check, here we go.
And as much as you beat 10, that's how many feet you can get
16.
across this rocking bridge. 16.
16
You
on
make,
dex
so
check.
you make your way 5 across the bridge. Only 30 feet to go.
Yes.
Excellent. Next, Nathan. What does Marcus do? You've noticed this, Marcus.
Oh yes, no, very much so. I've been prepared since the boat. So for the last few hours, I've just been walking around, absolutely prepared for battle. This is the moment for me to strike. So Marcus Rutherford removes his. It's going to be a bit awkward, but he removes his cloak and all these heavy books and everything, and they all fall off the back of him. And he
Off the bridge?
prepares himself in his +1 leotard. He gets his war ribbon whip, and he runs through and gives Jatiah a pat on the back and says, "You're doing good. You're doing good," and provide inspiration to him. So if you remember that,
Okay, lovely.
I will. So that means a 1d8 if on any of the kind of stuff you want to do. And then I run forward, and
Excellent.
I think, am I going to? I'm not going to be able to get close to them, am I? I'm going to be still far away. Correct.
Give me a dex check, and the most by how much you beat 10, that's how far forward you're going to get.
Remember, I've
of
got the
30
+1 leotard on, so
That's
roll
true.
20.
You virtually slip a lot. You rolled a 20. So what's the total
that's
of
the
the dex
first
check?
20 I've. Yeah, hashtag
Ever
20.
rolled. And
20 live.
years
Quick,
of
quick,
gaming.
quick. Find this button.
Yeah,
There you
on
go.
the big stage, boys. That's where I make my big. I roll.
So you make 10 feet towards them, so you're only 20 feet away from the Yetis now.
Okay, so then I will cast
I said what
Bane.
it was. See, I told you I'd do that. The Yetis.
The Yetis. Okay, so I
Yeah,
cast
I
Bane.
love this. Yeah.
Excellent.
So Bane, when I cast Bane, it goes for 3 of them.
Excellent. There are 5.
And yeah, so 3 of them of your choice you can see within the range must make a charisma saving throw. So that is DC 15 charisma for 3 of them. Whenever the target fails a saving, blah 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 blah. So basically, just subtract 1d4 from roll
Same
attack.
Tell me
Saving
production
throws against me.
when Sirenscape's back, and I'll restart it here as well. It's running beautifully for us.
Okay, so yes, it is. So 3 of them have to roll DC 15 charisma saves.
Charisma saves. I bet you
Yeah,
Yeti are
Yetis.
very,
Yetis,
very
known for their
charismatic.
charismatic.
-2.
If they're the Yetis from Monsters Inc., it could be quite charismatic.
One saves with a 15, and the other 2 fail. So they're now acting at a minus D4.
One, yeah.
Yeah, so target must roll a d4 and subtract from rolling attacks or saving throws. But they're attacking me by attacking the bridge. I was,
That's right. Absolutely.
so they're a bit scared of me and my leotard of +1. Awesome.
I'd be scared
Yes,
of you
yes.
and your leotard of +1.
Yeah. I think we take inspiration
Okay,
out
so
of
yeah.
fear rather than inspiration out of, inspiredness.
I like
Look,
it.
honestly, you're just inspired. That's all I care about.
So you're 20 feet away from the bridge. Murray's 25.
30, right.
And what about John?
Okay, I'm going to cast a ray of enfeeblement on
Excellent.
one of the creatures that is closest to the bridge. So I'm going to send out like a beam that looks sort of like Vegemite. So it comes out as a black, yeasty goo that sort of leaks out of my body. It's pure vegetarian goodness.
See a doctor about that.
Yeah.
High in vitamin B.
Yeah, it's high in vitamin B. So, you know, but like, it's salty. It's like, it is dehydrating. And that's probably the worst thing about it, is that in the quantities, it's overpowering and draws the moisture out of the creature. So it's a constitution check for the creature.
I think,
it's such a wonderful description.
I think if we need to homebrew the Vegemite Raven. We need to homebrew the Vegemite Ray of Enfeeblement to have a mischance for someone who actually likes it. Like, oh yeah, that tastes good. You know.
Well, no, I don't know. I would contest that anyone in the quantity that I'm providing would strike it.
Oh, since I failed, just check, and your description was so wonderful. Can you tell me how it ends up in the ravine, John?
How what ends up? The creature or the
Yeti?
The Yeti. The Yeti, sorry, the unnamed creature, which I haven't specified yet.
Okay, it like the ray of enfeeblement strikes it straight into the nostrils and then drips down through the back of its throat, and it just coats the interior of the mouth. And there's something about the consistency where the creature tries to swallow and just gags, and the creature moves forward, grasps onto the railing of the bridge, but the rotting railing gives way, and it just plummets, going, this might be put on tow.
You need to stop, John. That's way too visceral. Too visceral.
Oh, fantastic.
For all those people for all those people who like the smells of role playing, we can provide, bars to open at that moment, so you get the whiff of Vegemite.
There's Sirenscape for your sound. We need Smell Escape. It just not so good on
the chat who was asked to prepare Vegemite beforehand, you can now open Vegemite.
That's right.
Allow that part of role playing to really take part.
Did you all make your perception?
Thank you for being organised and everybody bringing their Vegemite.
All right, claw attacks on the bridge. I'm just going to do some damage. I'm just going to roll 2d20 damage on the bridge because that makes sense. They do 20. Minus d4 on 2 of them. That's right. Okay. 20 minus 1. Okay, so 17 hit points on this bridge. They're cutting through the ropes, but also another of the Yeti. Yeti? What is the plural of Yeti? Chat, what is the plural of Yeti? And I'm going to call it that from now on. Two more of them fall into the ravine. One wreathed in Vegemite, and another with crackling fire around it.
Hang on. Did one jump off the cliff and then somebody else just followed it because it was like they were peer pressured into it?
You can't tell. It is strange. It is strange. They seem to be leaping off the cliff unprompted, as if they're being attacked by some other force. That brings up Derek. There's only 2 left, I believe.
I dash forward a little bit. How far are they away?
So the bridge is 30 feet wide. Let's say you're already 10 feet into the bridge. Give me a dex check to see how much you beat 10 by.
I don't actually need to run forward, but I get 13.
A 13. So you don't make any progress forward at all. The bridge rocks. Okay. It's mainly because Jataya is ralphing over the edge of the bridge. Is Ralph an American word? It means to regurgitate your food, disgusted as he is by the Vegemite stream.
I think it's hurl. Hurl is your American.
Hurl. Okay, yeah.
Blow chunks.
Jataya is hurling over the bridge. Blow chunks. That's right.
I like in a surf movie. We're talking about blowing chunks.
So Ben,
does that mean I don't get to act?
The chat has said that the plural for Yetis, for multiple Yeti, is Andrew.
Andretti. Andretti's. I like it. Andretti's.
Spaghetti. Yes.
Yes, Derek.
So Ben, I reach into my chest and pull out some motor oil that is part of my visceral fluids and cast grease on the other end of underneath the Yeti. The Yeti.
Excellent. The Andretti's. How do I spell grease?
Each creature standing in this area must succeed on a dex saving throw or fall prone.
Nice.
Or fall over the side.
Fall over the side. Right. Okay, dex saving throw. What's the DC?
DC is 14.
Dex +1. One got a 7 and goes over the side. where the Wilhelm scream. And another one rolls a 10 and goes over the side. You have defeated the Andrettis.
Nice. Was that a
Path is clear before you.
named Wilhelm?
That's right. They're all called Wilhelm because that's
Oh, yes.
two
When
names
they
I've thought
die-
of so
when they
far.
die, they're all called Wilhelm.
It's like a traditional name. It's so based on the heritage. Yeah, the Wilhelms.
That's right. It is.
The
It's a
tribe
family
Wilhelm.
name.
Yeah.
So trudging through the rest of the awful weather, though you don't even notice it's awful weather because it's just normal for a Tuesday. It is Tuesday, and that's what days are called
Hang on.
in this world.
Role playing.
They're
now
all
it's
called
so
Tuesday.
it's midweek.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Perpetually Tuesday, because the sun didn't rise on Wednesday morning, so it's perpetually Tuesday.
Man.
In the
why does it
journal-
have to be Tuesday.
Oh, how depressing! It is a rather bad day.
Not even hump
I
day.
think we really need to focus on role playing this Tuesday.
Not even halfway through the week.
It's like not the beginning of the week.
Oh.
That's right. Absolutely. In the
I
highly
hate this
detailed
setting.
Why can't we play the
I was
Friday
up to it,
game?
I was in it
We're like-
until you said it's always Tuesday, and now it's like,
Yes.
oh well, I don't want to be in this world.
No, we're so far
yeah.
away from the weekend. We're so far away. It's like,
Yeah, it's like
God.
it's like perpetually horrible.
I go back to the bar. It's not worth it.
yeah.
Yeah, let's just turn around. Let this.
I
dial
don't
go.
work Tuesdays. Jeez.
No Andrew is worth facing a Tuesday for.
I
Yeah.
know.
Weekend break.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Oh my
Anyway,
god.
let's just carry on, Ben. I guess.
Just to help Ben out, he didn't role play it
Yeah,
really
whatever.
well, but we're supporting
on
him
the
as a
map.
DM.
Next on the map.
Oh yeah, we look at the hook.
we
Does it
open the
hook us
journal.
again?
Yes, on the map, there's an arrow pointing to where you're just arriving now. It says, "This is where the beast is. Watch out, it might be hot to handle. If it has killed me, then clearly it has a super duper high CR. I mean, sharp claws and a vicious mouth. At least maybe Charmaine will remember me if someone could bring back my body."
Can I
Cave
do a
entrance.
knowledge check on who Charmaine
Yes.
was?
Yes, you may do it.
Go.
That's crucial.
I roll a
Quick,
3.
Let's stop the drama.
After all that, I want to
Three.
focus on the specific name of one person that was written in there to see if I know who they are.
Oh, the love
The only character not called Andrew.
That's
who he
true.
loved left at home.
And not
That's
Andrew
who
is
we
the
have to
important
go
part.
and we have to go and comfort Charmaine if we don't get Andrew back.
You
Sure.
do. You do. This is very important. Charmaine is a well-known seamstress from town. She's well known because her work is generally terrible.
It looks like you
And if
made that
ask-
up, Ben.
Nice,
That's
nice,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Her work is generally terrible, and your pants will end up, if not with different lengths on the two legs, they will end up shorter rather than longer, depending on whether you requested longer rather than shorter.
Okay.
Hang on, two legs?
I'm now in love with Charmaine the seamstress simply from
Charmaine?
Andrew's journal description of her.
I mean, the positive is that you get to go back to her over and over again because
Yeah.
she makes a terrible job of it every time. So it's actually a
She
good.
does.
No, because she keeps saying come back tomorrow, and there's never tomorrow. Oh man.
It's always
yeah.
Tuesday. Bloody
Always-
Oh,
Tuesday.
this setting. Oh,
I can't break it. Can't
it's
separate
horrible. It's-
Tuesday from role playing.
No.
perpetually Tuesday.
Oh. Okay, I see what I've done. Oh my gosh. Okay, good.
Oh, no.
I pushed the wrong
What's
button.
Ben doing?
What is Ben doing? Ben's obviously drunk. Right, the cave entrance, definitely not. The cave entrance stands gaping to the cold winds. It looks warm and sheltered in there, a place of refuge from the now driving snow. The sky, still
big-
dim as usual, seems to close in with ever-increasing menace. The form of a young, naive man lies crumpled. You can tell he's naive by the way he's crumpled. In the snow, in front of the cave, his blood now frozen, having spilt out onto the snow. Oh, and also there's a Remoras standing over the top of him. It attacked you!
All right.
If the chat could support the way it appeared, that would be very useful, because that's how you dungeon master. Roll for initiative!
No.
Can I say I've never had a Rimmeraz appear another way other than, oh yeah, and there's a Rimmeraz in front of a cave.
20.
Yay!
21.
Did anyone beat 20? Oh, Murray beats 21. Beats 20.
I do.
I got a
Let's see what
19.
chat's saying. Excellent.
3.
3.
Of course.
But I'm already prepared. I'm ready.
Business as normal. So no one beats Murray's 21. What do you do, Murray?
I'm going to throw
actually,
Firebolt
Yeah.
as far into the
Firebolt.
cave as I possibly can. So I'm not throwing it
Excellent.
specifically at a creature, but I'm basically going to throw a mote of flame to the back of the the cave as far as possible. And if it hits the wall, then it will flame at the back of the wall, but it will go as far as I possibly can, which is 120 feet into the cave. Hopefully, therefore, illuminating something else in the cave if there is something else to illuminate in the cave.
Okay, good idea. I just typed fire blot into Sirenscape to try and find the spell sound, but now
The whole place is like covered in flame. It's blotted out with burning.
Now that I've typed it correctly, I can find the spell. Excellent. Your bolt of fire flies over the Remerez, ensuring that it has noticed the team, so there's absolutely no chance to prepare.
Over here.
Well, come
And
on,
it lights up the
wouldn't
cave, which is empty.
Don't I get a chance to hit the Remerez? Aren't they quite large?
I thought you were deliberately missing the Remerez.
Yeah, you were
I
hitting
threw
the
it
back
into
of
the cave. Oh, okay.
The Remerez isn't in the cave.
Right.
Remerez is standing outside the front of the cave.
Okay, so there's no other Remerezes, just the one, guys. Just so you know.
That's right.
Glad I'm
Absolutely.
And they're not called Remerazes, they're called Andrews. I don't know why you're calling it Remerazes.
Andretti? Yeah.
That's right. There's just one. But by the careful deployment of your firebolt, you are now aware there is only one Remerez, and it's standing right in front of you.
I feel like I have achieved non-warlock
You have.
blastness.
Wow, can I just say,
Yes.
role-playing wise,
Absolutely.
a minute.
Marcus,
That is
what does Marcus
role-playing
do?
outcome.
What does Marcus do? Marcus does many things, but what does he do right now?
Yes.
He is going to prepare himself. He throws his cloak off, revealing 7 foot tall, leotarded, dancing goodness. And I'm going to
Beautiful.
I'm going to inspire. Who am I going to inspire? Out of you guys, who is inspired by this action? Anyone?
Jataya.
Jataya is inspired. I inspire Jataya. He's always inspired by my actions, and that was a bonus action. And what I do for my real action is actually if I cast heat metal,
Yes.
but on the
Jataya.
end of Jataya's sword,
Would it make it even hotter?
would it make it even hotter and like
melts
super
it.
awesome?
Yeah, Jataya's reason for being melts.
Do you think, Chad, I should
Floppy
point out the
sword.
immunities? Do you think I should point out the immunities of Remerez's at the moment?
No,
Um,
Remerazes are known
and-
for standing in front of.
Andrazi is the plural of Remerez.
Andrazi.
That's from.
What a shame I won't have to use it.
Ben, knowing all our characters and exactly what we do before the game, I'm glad that you've taken into account what their immunities are. I'm
Well,
as a player, I'm very happy.
I
As
think-
a role player, this is amazing.
Jataya has encountered a Remerez before.
Nope. Yes. Okay, excellent.
So
Someone mentioned the
Johnny's
word.
inspired, and his sword is on fire.
Not that that'll.
Excellent. Fantastic.
Role play.
John.
We're role playing.
Okay,
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to make a circle on the ground, scratch into the ground with my mace, and I'm going to draw all my friends' faces in it, and they're like, these are my friends. And then I'm gonna exclude
It's not a spell. He just did it.
the Remeraz from my circle of friends.
Oh,
Nice.
Mate,
harsh.
you're not my friend, mate. So he's outside of my circle of friends. So I'm gonna cast Bane on
Excellent.
him. So Bane
Wow.
amulet. So that would be a where is it? It is a charisma 10.
Charisma 10. Okay. Remerez are known for their ability for small talk at parties with a charisma of 5, a bonus of -3, a 12 on the die, taking it down to 9, so it fails.
He fails.
So that would be every time D4 to their attack
Minus
and saving throws.
D4. Okay, good.
So that
Thank
is
you. You might need to
that
remind
is
me of
literally a sick burn on the Remerez.
that.
So mate, yeah, I'm so sorry, mate, but you're just not part of my circle of friends.
Oh, that's so sad. You unlike him.
That hurts more than it should.
That's right. That's sad. It looks crestfallen. But instead,
It's been standing in front of this cave doing nothing, and then we came up, threw a bolt of
Looking for
lightning at it, and
friends.
then told him that he has no friends.
it's
Where?
not been doing nothing.
Hey.
It's been in an animation loop of standing still.
Can I just say #heroes? That's what
With
I
a
want
skull
to
and crossbones just floating above its head.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's pointed out that it's very cold and you're in a leotard, Mark.
Yes, that's right. I think
No, but it's a leotard of +1. Very different.
+1 of
they don't
thermal
understand.
warmth.
It's yeah. That's what makes it special. It's like Superman. He can go in space. I'm
Right.
You need to
basically
dance.
Superman.
Yeah, you need to dance
1,
faster.
2, 3, 4. So
I'm-
Ramirez rushes forward to attack Zuffa, who it is annoyed
Zuffa.
at Zuffa. Sorry,
Mate,
because
suffer.
Oh, got your name wrong. Oh,
Arguing with
yeah.
at the moment.
It types an aggressive message on a social media platform and misspells your name at the same time as it rushes forward and attacks you. Plus 11 on its attack. It only rolls a
This
5.
is why
Is
I
16 enough to hit
unfollowed
you?
you on Facebook, mate.
oh.
Does the 16 hit you?
Is that with a 1d4 minus 1d4?
Oh, bollocks. Okay. -2 is a 14.
A 14 to hit?
What was the bait?
Yeah.
What do you know? It does.
Hey!
You're squishy, Zuffa.
You're squishy.
Yeah.
I have an armor class of 13.
He wears
Wow.
his heart on his chest. It's like just on the outside.
Well,
How many hit
on the
points do you
chest,
have,
yeah.
Zuffa?
Not a lot, only 28.
28.
Yeah, if you were
Okay.
numerically to describe your health, how many healths would you have?
It does.
Delicate flower of the healing rose.
It does 70 hit points damage
Excellent.
What?
Oh,
Quite
well, there
70.
you go.
in half.
70. So I'm at 0. Do I go into negatives? My character sheet doesn't
No,
seem
you
to
go
allow
into-
me to go into.
You make a
check.
death save. You make a death save next time you roll. Derek, what does
Wonderful.
Vale do? Vale
Don't
Zuffa.
worry.
Zuffa.
So Vale sort of draws himself up to his full height and then plunges his fist into the ground and casts Maximilian's Earthen Grasp. And a huge fist works its way up out of the ground and grabs the Ramirez on the snout
Wow.
and shoves a finger into its mouth.
That's cool.
That
Death
is
save
a
or something?
very specific spell.
That's its weak point.
Yeah.
So
Was
a
that- was
medium
the inside of
hand
its
made
mouth
from
glowing?
compacted soil rises and then reaches for one creature you can see within 5 feet of it. The target must make a strength saving throw.
Strength. Oh, it rolls a 5. It's plus 7 on its bonus, bringing it to 12, but
-1.
a -4. Yeah. Brings it to 11. That's probably not enough to beat your DC.
No, that's 14. So it takes 6 points of damage and is restrained.
Restrained. Yep, which means it attacks at disadvantage and you attack it at advantage. Excellent. Johnny, what does Jataya do?
Well, Jataya, with his sword of flame, not that that'll do any good against the Ramirez.
You don't know that. Don't.
He
it.
snarls angrily at the Ramirez and says, "I've met your kind before." And then he charges in with a roar and does a menacing attack,
I like it.
which is an actual maneuver.
Oh, I think.
So I get an extra D8 damage.
If,
I
no,
hit.
you get
Let's
to see
if
if
I
you hit, and then if you miss, you get to roll the d8.
And you're inspired. Yes, yes.
So,
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
I
have
get
to
the
use the
extra D8
inspiration if you need it. Yep.
inspiration. Is that damage? No, I'm confused.
You know, you can use it for inspiration or damage
Yeah.
or a saving throw, ability check.
So 18 plus 6 is 24.
That hits.
Excellent.
Excellent. Damage.
So I take it I don't do fire damage.
You don't do fire damage. It's completely immune to fire damage.
That's very sad. But I do 15 points of damage.
Woo!
And the creature must make a saving throw. Wisdom DC 14.
Okay.
Otherwise it will be frightened of
It
me.
rolls a natural 20.
Oh, I wanted to frighten it.
Excellent. Good. Murray.
So Derek's attack into its nose, has that been particularly effective?
Are you hoping it's going to
your
vomit up
finger
the
in its
corpse of the saggy corpse of John's character, Zuffa?
Yeah, I'm going to fire Witch Bolt into its exposed fleshy bits, following
Excellent.
up Vale's attack.
I love it.
Out of context, best line of the
for it.
game. I'm going to fire a wish bolt into his exposed flesh bits.
That is
Go
a
for it.
23 to hit.
Uh-huh.
Did that hit? Please tell me it hits.
There's all these mentions of lemon juice. I can't.
Yes.
I can't imagine. Why.
Sorry, no,
Lemons would be a good
25
thing
to hit.
include in the game, wouldn't they?
25 to hit.
Its armor class is definitely less than 25.
Nice.
The chat. No.
Lots of so myself. No, it doesn't. It takes 12 damage.
12 damage. Excellent. 12 damage.
So an arc
Okay,
of
good.
blue energy. So it's an arc of electrical blue energy fires out of me and is basically connected between me and the Remoraz.
Nice.
It's a constant shot, so I'm just going to maintain that.
Nice. Excellent. You do that. Marcus, you've seen your
Marcus
friend
Rutherford.
bitten almost in half.
So I'm going to go over to my friend. That's Zafar, just so that's his name, by the way.
That
I know he's my friend because he drew a circle on the ground and I was in it, so I feel very special. So I go over and I say, "You can do it." And that was inspiring enough. I don't really think I need to roleplay any further. That kind of really highlights the point of what I'm
So
doing.
he's unconscious, about to make a save to see if he dies or not, and you just tell him you can do it.
Yeah, which you
felt
can
that.
use that inspiration on the save. And then I'm gonna cast Healing Word on him, or should I hold the action until he makes it and then cast Healing Word so he gets a bit?
I don't know. It doesn't make any difference. It'd be better to cast it before he makes, and then he doesn't have to make the save at all.
So I hold my act. No, I'm joking. I will cast Healing Word on him.
So I get 1d4. I get
Plus
1d4 plus 4. So that's
Yeah,
4.
so roll.
So 8. I'm back up.
Woo!
Pick myself up. Thank you, Nathan. You are my friend.
As the song mentions, when you get knocked down, you get up again.
Excellent. Excellent.
Again, I
Back
push
up.
you down.
Oh, and I do it with a flare as well with my whip.
Do you whip me back to health?
And in the cold, you look particularly awesome in your leotard.
Do you ribbon me
What
back
was
to
it?
health?
I do.
I'm getting the sense from the chat that I need to work lemons into this plot somehow. What do you do, Zafar?
I can't imagine
The
why.
Maybe it's a-
Remoraz bleeds, wasn't that what you were saying?
No.
I checked my
I'll make a
chest. Are there
lemon
lemons in
stall,
there?
Obviously.
Yeah. Does anyone have lemons? No one has lemons. No. Weird. If only you had lemons, perhaps it would be the key to the story.
Is there a lemon
If
tree
only-
possibly growing right next to the cave?
Is there a guy standing next to the cave selling lemons in a single car?
No,
It's
no,
indescribable and role playing.
Oh, why would you say that, Nathan? What a
cast
silly
I don't know. It's happened before.
Is there a little boy in the cave who has been living off lemons? for quite
There's
a
no
while?
lemons in sight anywhere. If
Andrew-
only we could
Come on,
find
Ben,
lemons.
throw
no
us a freaking
suckers.
lemon.
Maybe Andrew Jr. had lemons in his pouch. Just to stave off scurvy.
Okay.
Lemons are...
Anyway,
Just goes
this
crazy
role
with
playing
it.
amazingness.
Yes.
Go,
John,
John. Go, John. What does
Okay.
Zafar do? Struggling to his
All right,
feet with his head
so
spinning.
I wake up and there's
Nice. Oh.
a man in leotards dancing over me with a ribbon, and I'm seeing far too much of him, like standing with his legs
It's a
over me.
+1
and
leotard.
it's glorious, my friend. Oh my god, mate. That's a +1
Are you
leotard,
suffering?
mate. Not anymore, mate. You brought me back to life. I saw
Oh.
things, mate. You were there, and you brought me back.
I'm a vision.
Do some good.
Yay!
And I'm gonna lift up my my mace, and I'm gonna smack that Remoraz right in the old brass,
Excellent.
sensitive region.
Wazoo.
I'm thinking of a word, and I couldn't think of a nice way of saying it.
Isn't there like 200 legs on this thing?
I think Murray. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think Murray called it soft bits or something like that. Yeah,
In the
excellent.
soft
Exposed
sensitive
fleshy
region.
parts.
Yeah,
Exposed
excellent.
fleshy
In the
Exposed fleshy parts. That was
exposed-
it. Yes.
Or
You can tell it's a male Remoraz because its name's
actually.
Andrew. Okay. Oh, nice idea.
Actually,
The exposed
you know what I
fleshy
might?
bits. Yeah.
Because
Good,
he's
it's ego.
standing over me and I'm lying on the ground, I might just reach out through the ground and I might just reach out and touch the creature and try to draw healing back into myself. Actually, might be a better way to do it.
Excellent. I love it.
I'm going to start rubbing this creature's foot and try and find some of the wounds of its own past and get it in touch with its own pain.
Ooh,
maybe
So
maybe he wanted
yeah.
to just be friends with us, and you just drew a circle that excluded him, and he's really
It's like psychic damage, but you know.
like that might have started the pain for him, but I think the pain goes deeper. I feel like that might just
you're going to
be
extract
for-
that pain.
So Ben, I'd like to find out, and so I'm going to touch that nerve, and
Excellent. Give me
3d6
some damage.
necrotic damage.
Roll,
So,
Big John.
I don't know, it's a touch attack. So that is 554. So we're talking 14 damage, and then do I get that back? Half that amount of damage. You regain hit points equal to half the amount of necrotic damage. So that's
Fantastic.
kind of nice.
I love it.
So that's nice. I'll gain that hit points back. Thanks very much. And what kind of pain do I tap into of it? Is there a little bit of like an acidic burn, like a citrusy kind of pain that's deep within him?
I think you gain some insight vulnerabilities.
Oh, he's a bit distant from his father, and he always wished he'd sort of reconnected, but he never actually got around to it because he was always busy trading stocks late at night. And and then his father died, and he kind of regrets it at a kind of a deep level, even though he probably shouldn't because it wasn't his fault.
The
I'm gonna give her a
Remora's
little pat
exchange is a
on the
hard
foot.
taskmaster.
Excellent. Now, I assumed that the Remora's would be a completely over the top encounter for you guys, since its CR is incredible and its demonstrated ability to drop John in one go. We're going to assume that the Remora's does in fact kill all the PCs.
What?
Oh, okay.
Done.
Assume what?
All right, cool. See ya.
Since we're on a time,
the game.
+1, Ben.
But I
since we're on
wanted to.
a time schedule here,
I
you
wanted
find
to ask.
yourself.
Oh,
Yes, you find yourself in a bleached out white environment, much like Harry Potter finds himself after Voldemort casts on him, and except this isn't a train station. It's that market place at Covent Garden, if you know
I
London.
look
Or if you
for a small stall.
There
Yeah,
is
is there
but
a
one
stall?
stand. There is a stand of selling. It looks like some kind of small fruit.
are they circular and
And-
yellow?
This must be heaven.
Do you approach the stand?
Yes.
Does
There's a
have
man
hook
that
on it?
looks remarkably like, no, it's not a hook. It's kind of like a railroad shape. It has a man with a long white beard wearing a cape. He says, good afternoon. I see you have arrived.
Have we met before?
Beard wearing a cape. That's the best description I've ever heard in my life. There was a man with a beard wearing a cape, and he offered you small fruit. Do you take it? It's like,
Have you met before? Yes. He's been a mentor in your life for many a long year, though his aims were always
Andrew?
unclear. Andrew. Yes,
that
his name's
you?
Andrew. He says, yes, my name is Andrew. We seem to be in the markets at Covent Garden. Last time I did this, I was in the station at King's Cross. What do you require of me?
Could do with a
Everything-
drink.
Yeah.
All alas,
Maybe
all
he
I
can
have is
aid you?
all I have is these lemons.
Well, we'll need to
Well,
make
well.
lemonade.
Life gives you lemons.
I do have
Or
this
is it
jar.
that lemons give you
device.
life?
Lemons give you that.
Oh.
Boom.
Mic drop.
I pick up one of the lemons and smell it.
It smells very acidic.
I bite into a lemon with the skin on, because that's what Jataya does.
Yeah.
because only a wuss would peel
I
you.
mean, what's-
You think if this lemon would be vicious and scary in the eyes of any creature, even one immune to fire and cold.
I
buy
pick
all
up
the
a whole
lemons.
bunch of them.
Yep, you buy all the lemons. Derek buys a whole bunch of them, and Marcus buys
Yeah,
one.
we knock over Andrew, and we just
Yeah,
grab every lemon.
Oh, just roll the card.
I'm just like rubbing it on my leotard.
I thought we were
it's
gonna-
just like,
You don't want a bag of
Lemon
holding,
armor.
we can just fill it with
I thought we
lemon.
were going to have to mug Vale because he bought all the lemons. Or I was going to suggest to our spellcasters that now would be a really good time to have taken the spell Create Food and Water. because you could have just created a lemon, but no one thinks like that.
Didn't.
Mending.
My spells are sweet. They're not sour.
That would be
So you
lemon.
rub lemon. So you rub lemon on yourself to make yourself less palatable. Excellent. I like that.
And then we'll just take all the lemons. Andrew, can we
Take
have
all the lemons?
Andrew, mate, can we have a bucket of lemons each?
Excellent. Excellent. Yes, he gives you a bucket of lemons each. He can also give you a juicer if you require one.
Is there an orange anywhere? Because then I can do like a clementine and do half orange and half lemon juice, and then just...
There's absolutely no oranges. There's only lemons. The only stand in this Covent Garden fruit stall is lemons.
Everybody knows that the North is known for their production of lemons. You know, cold temperatures make the best lemons.
They do, absolutely.
I ask Andrew, how do we get back?
This is
That's
a train
obvious.
station near here, so I suppose you could probably get off anywhere.
Oh.
All
Is this all happening in
Someone has to ask.
Walk over.
Someone has to ask, is this real or are you just in my head?
I just asked
Is
that.
this real or are you in my?
Oh, good, yeah. Does anyone remember what he actually says in the movie?
It's been a while.
Just because
Jack,
it's
what did you
happening
say?
in your head, that doesn't make it any less real.
Yes, that's right. Just because it's happening in your head doesn't make it any less real, he said spontaneously.
Suffer.
I walk over to the train station. And,
Excellent. You walk over the train station, which is nearby Covent Garden. There's a tube station there. Excellent.
Called Covent Garden. Yes.
Absolutely.
And I look at where the trains are going.
Someone just said it's a bit railroady. Excellent. Good. There's several stops. There's helping out to kill the plesiosauruses, plesiodandrews at the lake. There's a stop for stopping the Yetis from cutting the bridge, and there's also a stop for stopping the Remoras to kill the party. Which one?
The
would
one
you like
beyond
to
that?
choose?
Is there the Remoras is already dead and you're successful?
Awesome.
No, there's no way
I
the
get-
are alive unless someone helps them.
I get on the train and get to the plesiosaur encounter.
Yes.
Yep.
Let's assume you take all the actions at the plesiosaur encounter that you.
Let's
you
just
took
go
part
straight
of.
to the end. Yeah.
Excellent. Good. Yes, that's right. You
We
take
got
all the
like,
actions.
not long left. Let's just go straight
Exactly.
to the end.
I
You
don't
help
know
out
the
15
characters.
minutes.
You help out the characters in a weird, ghostly way. You watch yourselves encountering the plesiosauri, defeating the yetis. Though of
It's
course
like-
you didn't need help with those.
It's like we cast our own,
very
it's like we cast our own spells and
Yeah,
saw
it's
ourselves.
like we.
I'm
I'm
feeling a little
disappointed
bit
I
like,
didn't notice
I'm
the.
feeling a little bit like Harry Potter now.
And eventually,
I think that my
eventually, eventually you arrive back at a strange scene, seeing yourselves struggle desperately, repeatedly falling by the jaws of this vicious creature that can seemingly drop each of you to the ground with a single bite. You must do something to stop your party being killed, or perhaps you'll never be able to return to the land of the living. Everyone roll initiative.
Oh, even me?
15.
Oh my god. 5.
6. I think 15 is the highest.
I got a
isn't it?
7.
I got 15 as
lowest.
well, but
You got 15. Excellent. I want each of you to describe some encounter-winning way that you're going to utilize lemons to win against the Remoras and to save your own very selves.
And the chat can vote on what their favorite one was.
Yes, good idea. Derek,
Hashtag team.
which method should we employ?
Nice.
I take 2 lemons and I shove it into the teeth of the Remoras that is still gagging on the Maximilian's
Excellent.
grasping hand.
Excellent.
And then fire lightning bolts into the lemons so that they explode into its mouth.
Oh, it's making my teeth like just feel acidic and awful. I love it. Excellent. Johnny?
I once cut my way out of the inside of a dragon.
You did.
So I remembering back to that successful dragon slaying encounter, I think it was
Excellent.
Marcus Rutherford that slayed the dragon officially. But I
Yeah,
feel like I did a lot of damage.
1 hit point.
1d4 minus 3.
Marcus.
I'm gonna cut my way into the Remoras and
Cut your way in.
fill its stomach with lemons.
Just start tossing them in. Excellent.
Yeah,
Nice.
cut your way in
Or
to
maybe
cut your way
maybe I'll
out.
just
I like that.
cut a hole and just pour lemon juice in.
Yeah. That's right. It's like a
I
lemon.
feel like
receptacle.
Remroses don't have acidic stomachs.
No, they don't. They don't have acidic stomachs. No. So Derek, it's the fire is what gets you inside a Remorez. So Derek's going to blunt the teeth with lemons and lightning bolt to activate the acidic horror. Johnny's going to fill up the inside of with lemon juice in general. The tequila shots. Excellent. Murray, what does Euphorion do?
As we are coming out of the train station in the sky, I'm going to reverse Legolas. So I'm going to use my my tortoiseshell shield as Legolas does, but I'm going to ride up the Remorez. Whilst doing that, I'm going to make 2 perfect lemon wedges. And as I go over the head of the Remorez, I'm going to flip, and then I'm going to squeeze lemon juice into the Remorez's eyes.
Eyes, fantastic. Ow. Just remember, everyone, just get yourself in your palace here of imagination. Imagine you're cutting a lemon on a chopping board and a little bit squirts out and goes right in the corner of your eye. You're
the Remorez.
Few pains worse. You're the Remorez.
I don't want to feel that. That's a terrible thought. Why would you make people think that? That's
classic reverse Legolas. Excellent. What would Marcus do, Nathan?
well, covered in lemon in his +1. You know what? I think all the lemons make it a +2.
Okay.
Dancing
yes,
war
yes.
leotard.
Excellent.
So I just go along and throw my body, dancing style, straight into the mouth of the Remorez.
That's the only option.
Just
You're going to ride out.
look. If you're gonna do it right, hey. Then
do you have to wiggle?
My war whip. I'm going covered in lemons. I'm just going to throw it all the way down the throat with a lemon just on the tip. And it's all the little. It's you know what the word. It's not the fact that I'm standing there in a lemon-filled leotard in the poor creature's mouth, and then I've thrown a whip down its throat with. It's the little cuts that it makes all down the throat as the lemon kind of leaks in there.
Yeah.
So,
lemon in a cut.
Have you ever had indigestion? It's like.
Yes.
Like, sure, you can cut into a beast like this and throw lemons into it, but it's the subtlety of the cuts down the throat that I think that really makes a difference.
Yes.
And the fact that there's like a man in a leotard in your mouth.
Nathan, I just want to ask if that's your whip, is the lemons your nay-nay?
I don't
That's
even begin
exactly
to
what happens.
understand that.
I'm so glad you're down with such culture.
Down with youth culture.
Whipped and nay-nayed. That's it.
Now watch me whip.
John,
Okay,
what's our final
bouncing.
option?
he's almost on his last legs, am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
So many of them.
Struggling, barely able to stand on his feet. I'm going to use mending to shape the lemon into the disappointment of his father. And hold up the lemon in the shape of the disappointment of his father up into his face and just shake my head.
Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad.
Disappointed Remorez.
So
Oh, I love it.
I'm just
Now,
going to
chat,
break his
That's
heart.
how you
It's
did.
going to break
Chat,
his heart.
I'm getting the feeling, chat, we should have all those things happen because they're all compatible. I think we're fine with that. Harsh, yes, I feel that lemon juice would react badly with Marcus' fleshy
Hashtag
bits.
John Kill. Oh my
Negative
God, John.
inspiration. Oh, okay.
I feel the
good
lemon
luck
juice
to
would
this
react
Remorez.
badly with Marcus's fleshy bits in his leotard.
Barbaric.
Oh.
It's cruel. It's cruel. I agree.
John,
Well,
the suggestion
yes.
in chat. The suggestion in chat is that Remorez's dad should have said "Okay, Boomer," or is that the Remorez saying?
No, he's saying to his dad.
I'm not
He's
sure.
saying to his dad, yeah.
Say to his dad.
Oh,
Team John, absolutely. That's what we can do. I think they all should happen, but which is the killing blow? Which is the one that crushes the spirit, the final bit of hope
Where his
and
heart
life?
breaks?
What's going to make the light die from the Remorez's eyes? It's Team John.
Team
Zuffa
John.
wins for the most cruel. Poor soul.
Yeah, nice.
Excellent.
It's
It
the
looks like it
psychic
is.
damage.
It's the psychic
It's a
damage.
tequila shot. You throw a bit of lemon and then you just end it with salt.
There's a howl.
Now we all skull tequila. Yeah.
Excellent. There's a howl. It retches. It quakes. It rethinks its life. It feels regret. It explodes in a horrible burst of fire which melts itself into the ice And a great irony, it's not you're cutting words, you're cutting stinging wounds, it's not choking to death on Nathan's massive, strong body, but it's drowning at the bottom of a pit of depression and water that ultimately kills it. And you defeat the Remoras, victory is yours, and you are returned to your bodies because you have changed the whole course of history and saved your very selves. Congratulations.
Do we wake up on Wednesday morning? Have we broken the world?
We'll have to find that out next time. Will they?
But do we get loot?
Do you get loot?
Did we save the boy?
Yeah, is he still alive?
Oh, yes. Okay,
Cast
chat.
mend.
Do they save the boy, or do they bring the intestines back to Andrew?
It was an allegory. It was an allegory. The boy was all the problems and something.
Are you suggesting that Mike's plots might be sort of unnecessarily complicated and metaphorical and difficult to understand at times? What do you think, chat? They're the best sorts of plots, aren't they? Choking to death on Nathan's strong body. I like it. I love it. Top level
The chat says, what boy? They've already forgotten poor Andrew.
That's right. You wake up on Wednesday morning.
That's the whole plot hook.
Yeah, exactly. Wake up on Wednesday morning and we're like all happy because it's hump day.
So here's the thing, right? I'm gonna take the train back to town because I think it's a little bit faster now that there's we know that there's a train stop there. So we kind of we collect up what's left of Andrew and we get back on the train and get off at the pub, and we go back and Andrew's senior is paying for all the drinks because he's now working at the bar to pay off the bill that we left him.
Excellent. Yes. He's in indentured.
I like that we could have avoided the rope bridge the entire time by taking the train. It's like, dodgy rope bridge. Dodgy boat trip. It's like, well, let's just take.
Yes, that's right. All your Ben explained it so well in the beginning, and it's so simple. Excellent. Good.
I think Ben's been paid by some public transport network. You know, why row when you could take the train?
Why can't we get buses? Yeah.
There's a sign at the road bridge that says "Mind the gap."
Mind the gap, absolutely. Yes. You do not even get the most simple.
I'm now wearing a lemon tard.
A lemon tard. Nice. I love it. I love it. Even the Blessosaurus was red herring. Thank you for being with us, everyone. We had fun, and I'm glad you seem to have fun in the Twitch as well. Do search for DiceStormers on YouTube, where all our videos are published, including this one, and on Twitch, where we stream live, sort of, reasonably regularly. Follow us, obviously, if you like the sounds. If you like the sounds that you heard and the music's, and you've heard those sounds, obviously, in the rest of these events on this fantastic celebration, search for Sirenscape. There's a 30-day free trial that will reveal itself if you Google Sirenscape free trial, and you get yourselves up broadcasting the sounds of your games across to Seattle to be incorporated into streams, or to your friends who are playing with you in other places of Sydney because they can't come and sit at your table. Thank you so much to Dungeons & Dragons for putting on this event. Seriously, coming up, turning an event from a thing which is based in LA, and we're all in a room and we're having a fun time and we've got everything all situated together, to having to bring in dozens and dozens of players from all over the world and solve technical difficulties that mount up quickly and simply while keeping good cheer is a massive feat. So huge props to Dungeons & Dragons, and thank you for bringing us all together.
And the whole tech team, they've done an amazing job. So
amazing. And yay! So anything else anyone wants to say?
We're gonna hang in the chat for a while. We're
gonna hang in the chat.
We're gonna hang in the chat.
No? Thank you. Can we just thank the chat? Thank you so much for all the.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've still got time, guys.
We still have time.
I just want to say thanks to the chat and for everybody in there who was
beautiful contributions from the chat. Beautiful.
Can I
wake up in the morning? Yes, Nathan. Yes.
What did you tell the chat at the beginning of the adventure? I was kind of like, what? The manic laughing and the fact that you had something special and hidden from us. I was very concerned.
That's right. I told chat that I've been accused of making fundamental Dungeons and Dragons mistakes, dungeon mastering mistakes in the past, and I figured the only way was to move on and to correct and learn from those and grow as a dungeon master, and that I decided not to do that. So I was going to prove to my gaming buddies that really the way I dungeon master is absolutely perfect, and that I needed their support, which they've amply given generously. So thank you, chat.
So we can't get this one in the win column, are we?
Did you literally request for them? Did you literally request for them to call you a genius? Because
very
did?
probably. And,
Right,
and the
okay.
best thing was that anyone coming late to the broadcast would have no idea why the chat was so on board with the terrible ideas, which I thought was very, very nice.
Nice, love it.
Yeah, I told you about
I
lemons.
was surprised at how supportive the chat was. I was like,
it was too, actually.
Yeah.
I was like, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. It made me laugh so much. That was great.
I've realized though, in just now, that we generally tend to stream on a Tuesday, which is very worrying given that we've just had Forever Tuesday.
true.
There is, in fact, a very famous New Zealand pop song. I know that that's an oxymoron to most people. Without You, My Life's Going to Be Forever Tuesday Morning by the Mockers.
Wow. wow.
Sorry,
Wow.
what's New Zealand?
Yeah.
I think it's a state of
fictional
Australia.
land. It doesn't
Oh,
exist.
it's a Lord of the Rings thing.
Yeah.
It's
That's right.
literally Middle Earth, John.
Yeah,
Literally
yeah.
Middle Earth.
Oh, Middle Earth.
where
yeah,
the-
yeah,
where
I know
lemons
where
come
that
from.
is.
All days in Australia are Tuesday. Australia doesn't exist. We all know that. It's made up by the conspiracy people. Does anyone in chat have any questions for us? Around DiceStormers or the amazing plot or anything like that? Feel free to chuck those in. We have a little bit left. What I'd like to know. So you do, Murray, your character goes back and has a relationship with Charmaine now that Andrew's out of the picture. And
And is that's where my son, Eupolis, who's born, and in Derek's campaign. No, that way, yeah. In Derek's campaign, which is the Descent into Avernus, I'm actually playing Euphorion's son, who is Eupolis, son of Euphorion.
Nice.
I'm normally banned from making historical insights, but Euphorion, everybody, is the father historically of the playwright Aeschylus. And Eupolis is another Greek name, just so because I can't resist. And
when you say banned from making historical references, you mean I make historical references all the time, and everyone loves it and values it, and we all
exactly
learn.
just like I'm banned from having therapy, but
Absolutely, yes. Excellent. So Murray has a child with Charmaine who doesn't find that unusual at all, and poor Andrew,
She doesn't find that unusual. That's the way to describe it.
Well, a little bit shocked that the blue tiefling comes out.
Simple things in life.
That's right.
But, yes.
Excellent. John, what does your character do living out its long and rich future in Icewind Dale, the place?
Yeah, I set up a temple of healing, but it's more like a counseling service where people come to get healed, and it's I set up my own counseling beds and everything, or couches I call them.
Aww.
And I do a lot of healing.
Have you changed your name to Zuffer of the Healing Lemon rather than Healing Rose?
Zuffer of the Healing Lemon. Yeah, it might be bitter, but it's good for you.
Right.
Sometimes a bit of pain
It's the bitter pill.
It's a bitter pill to swallow.
Sometimes
I don't
we
think
need
it's
to
a
grow.
healing lemon. I think it's a
Absolutely.
disappointment lemon.
Oh.
Lemon of disappointment.
When the DM gives you lemons, you know it's a plot hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did we decide? The solution was that lemons give you life, not when life gives you lemons. Absolutely. Are there back rubs as a part of your service?
That was
appropriate
Johnny for the win.
back rubs. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, I think
what
back rubs really do unlock things for people, and I get a lot of insight into their minds, like Jataya's piglet bite. Poor Jataya.
Yeah, right.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
When life
He's
hands
like
you
this big
lemons,
warrior who's afraid of
it.
But are you now
Vale,
bonded
what-
to Marcus
Ah.
since Marcus brought you back to life? Are you?
Yes. Since he stood over me in a leotard, I've seen a part of Marcus that I never thought I'd see, and that's changed me irreparably. So
You were too afraid to ever
You're a
die
better
again.
person
just
for
to-
it now, right?
I never want to be in that place again, and that's changed me. And
He's too
too
afraid to die because
That's
coming
how
back to
you
life would be
became the
that
Lich.
traumatic.
Just to get rid of.
Okay, Derek, what does Vale do in his future, his enriched future?
Well, Vale accidentally gets separated from the party and wanders off and falls into a snowdrift, and his biomechanical parts are frozen once again in time, and it's not until 100 years into the future where people find him again, and that's when we'll pick up his story.
And you're like
he once
Team
again-
America. No, what's his name?
Captain America, yeah.
Captain America, Team America. Slightly different movie. That's fantastic. I love it. I love it. Frozen in time, ready to bring your help to the future once more. Johnny, what does Jataya do?
Well, Jataya has spent his whole life as a soldier and a soldier of fortune, and he decides he's had enough of that life. He's getting too old for fighting monsters. So he goes into business with the Plesiosaurus or whatever it was, Andrew in the lake.
Bless you. Yes, that's right, yes.
And so Andrew creates these beautiful bouquets of seaweed, and Jataya rows out in his boat every day and takes them into the village to sell.
Florist. Seaweed floristry. Nice.
Fantastic.
Because the Remoraz was apparently going to become an accountant, according to the chat.
An accountant?
That's apparently what when the disappointed father Remoraz appeared, he kind of gave up being a monster and decided to go and become an accountant to make his father happy. That was.
Yeah, who's the real monster?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is he had hopes and dreams and a reformed soul and the chance to grow as he slowly died. That's beautiful. That makes the hope even more thrilling. Fantastic. And what is Euphorian we've had, haven't we? We need to have Marcus.
Yeah, Euphorian goes and mates with Charmaine. Well, sorry, falls in love with Charmaine.
Falls in love with Charmaine and have mutual a relationship,
mutual respectful, loving relationship with Charmaine.
Absolutely, yeah. What does Marcus?
I do like
Marcus Rutherford. Well, Marcus Rutherford does what Marcus Rutherford does, and he goes around and he's now got a +2 leotard, so he can charge for more at his dancing for when he dances.
Dance recitals. Yep.
Yeah. And he wrote down the entire adventure and then starts journaling it down and writing a book based on the great adventure.
What's it called?
It's called The Hook. Hook, line, and sinker.
Nice.
I love it. I
think that,
it becomes a big hit.
Chat,
yep.
It's got a challenge from the chat when Zuffa writes a book, Why I Became a Lich, which is like the challenging book in the bestsellers list. Because Zuffa never wants to see the dancing.
What does Zuffa's future contain, John?
Sorry, what does Zuffa's future?
The temple.
Yes. The temple. We already did it. Excellent.
Temple with a cold.
Got his name. He must have put the chain and gone back and gone, I haven't done this bit yet. Let's go forward.
I love that.
It's okay, Ben. It's okay.
Butchered everyone's name.
I like not that backstory. Make another backstory.
Let John speak.
A little bit of a rub here. Let me give you a bit of a rub. There you go. You're okay.
Oh, that's healing. Right. Thank you.
Tell me about that time you got nibbled on the toe by that rabbit, and you're okay. You'll be all right.
Wow.
Have some Vegemite.
I'm going to give my Ben. I'm going to give my inspiration to you. So next time you're struggling in life, just roll an extra D8 for me.
I'm going to draw a circle, Ben, and your face is in the circle.
I think that's about it. Should we wrap it up, Ben?
That's about it. Yes. Sunjammer suggested the name of this adventure, which we're going to call Hook, Line, and Railroad, which I really, really like. That'll go on. This adventure will go on YouTube as that. So yeah, do follow us if you want to. If for some unknown reason you want to see more of this lovely bonhomie and friendship and fun, stay safe, and we'll see you in a brighter and happier and less snowy future that doesn't contain only Tuesdays, but mainly Wednesdays instead.
We'll see you on Wednesday morning.
Yeah. Aim for Wednesdays. That's the life lesson that we've learned today.
Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you in chat for a while.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.